I'm telling you right now, if you are one of these, this dude's so negative, his critiques are so harsh, can't he just sit back and enjoy pro wrestling? That's it's never tolerated anyway, but that's literally, that's das Boot to the fucking most amplified of measurements. There's no time for that anymore. Now is the time, with 100 hours of wrestling every week, AEW, who's brand fucking new, of 5 fucking years, roughly, in the general vicinity of 5 years, and they've got 110 shows. They have to cancel shows just to add a Saturday show, which is 24 hours after their Friday night show, which only gets a couple 100,000 of viewership. Their flagship is barely making 800 these days. Let's add a Saturday show. Then we have Friday Night Smackdown right before that AEW Rampage show. And then we have a Monday Night Raw, which is 3 hours. And we tune in out of habit and hope. Habit because we've been doing it since we were little kids. And hoping it gets better one day. One day it gets better. Take this fucking... I got playback. You guys got playback. I'm taking this shit off. I'm putting in my earbuds so I can hear myself. Somebody will be rational in this fucking community, and his name... Get the fuck off. What are we, robbing a fucking bank? Somebody is going to be rational in this community, and his name is BC Amplified. And that's why I had to put my entire unit, my gold team, on the front lines. This was not supposed to be a channel member chat only. Gold team only to every single my red team. My unit members, red team, my entire unit, much love and respect, all apologies. But when I knew this needed to be an amped up, a very amplified review, I had to make this channel members only. I had to make sure that my gold team and my gold team only is in this chat, because I'm calling all hands on deck. I need the smartest motherfuckers. I need my front lines. I need the gold team. So now with all these hours of wrestling, all these shows, oh, there's BC's playback. Oh, I'm sounding amplified, man. I'm about to have my 4th coffee of the morning. With all these hours of wrestling, now is the time where we're going to go, let's just enjoy it. What a time to be a wrestling fan. Right, that's what we're hearing these days. What a time to be a wrestling fan. This is the best era ever. It's the shittiest era. I apologize for the promoters that you, if you're younger, you have to grow up in this shit, and maybe it's all you know, so you are gonna defend it. This is the shittiest fucking era. Every one of your 5'7", 160-pound soaking wet dudes that can do all your trampoline flips and dives and give you bangers so you can go on your fucking social doohickey machine in 140 characters and talk about how Meltzer needs to give it 7 stars. It's doing nothing for the business. The industry is fucking dying. It is already DOA. The pulse is something we have to try to rejuvenate every single show. Nothing in today's professional wrestling is connecting. And you know what we're doing? We're just adding more of it. More hours, more shows. Mike Coldren, 2-month membership. I see you, brother. Hey, BC, got to meet Bianca last Friday morning. Such a wonderful human being. LA Knight roasting Logan Paul was gold. We're going to get to the LA Knight shit, Mike. I appreciate your membership. 2 straight months of amplification, straight fire. Mike, much love and respect. Bianca Belair is a sweetheart. She's one of the most finest human beings in the world in many ways. So I'm glad you got to meet her, brother. We just add more hours, more shows, more. Quantity over quality is professional wrestling in 2023. It is sad. It is despicable. AEW Collision, I thought, was a fun show, even decent. Many of you guys called it good. I'll go with that. Good. I can do good. Kevin MD, I appreciate the 6-month membership. 2 wrestlers that are no better than basketball cleats. Laugh my ass off. That was LA Knight. Yeah, from last night. That's what Kevin MD is talking about. We'll go over that. Kevin MD, much love and appreciation. Thank you for the amplification. Straight fire. 6th straight month for Kevin MD. Smash that up on the way in because I'm dishing nothing but amplification today. Nothing but truth, nothing but honesty. I don't care who else you listen to in the community. I don't care if you find them more entertaining. They're attractive to you and you just can't stay away from the fucking the screen. Maybe you listen to them for hours, maybe minutes. I don't care who you listen to, why you listen to them. Dante Jaron 23, 6-month membership. BC always speaking the truth. Dante always up in here dropping the truth with BC. Dante, I appreciate you, brother. 6 straight months. No matter who you listen to, no matter what they fucking tell you. Demonte Ty Drew, 6-month membership. Another awful Raw last night. So damn glad I didn't watch this show. All Triple H is getting is more clueless time after time. Shake my damn head. Demonte Ty Drew, just wait, brother. I'm going to unload on this shit because somebody's got to do it the right way. And that goes into what I was just saying. No matter who you listen to, why you listen to them. It doesn't matter. I don't care what they say. Don't regurgitate what you hear somebody else onto this channel. I'm not going to accept it. And most likely, I'm going to rip it to shreds. And then your other favorite podcaster, that you take his words for gospel, or maybe her words, if it's like a Denise Salcedo, or whoever the fuck it is, he, her, it's 2023. I don't even know what pronoun you want me to call these fucking people. But whoever you listen to, don't regurgitate it here, because I'm going to make you and them look like a fucking idiot. Because I don't care about opinions. I don't give a fuck what any other schmuck fan is saying. I'm no longer coming at you with just a fan's point of view. I'm coming at you with a true critical point of view. Like a true critic who wants this industry to become better. And instead it is the drizzling shits. I would call it a garbage fire, but it's more like a forest fire. And nobody knows how to put it out. More. Quantity over quality is professional wrestling today. Tony Khan and AEW can't even get his own Wednesday night show to consistently pull anywhere near 1 million viewers. Just get Wednesday night in order. Friday night SmackDown, you tried to add another show, or Friday night Rampage, and you could barely get back into the 300,000s now. So what do? Let's add a third show. But it was Turner Network, Warner Discovery that wanted it, basically. That's the fucking problem. Who's running the asylum here? So now we have a third show. And by the way, like I was saying, I thought it was decent. Fun. Some of you called it good. Okay, Collision was good. And then we start to do what wrestling fans always do. You take something that's decent, maybe even good, and you start calling it great, epic, flawless, perfect. What are we doing? Collision was not fucking perfect or flawless or epic or even great. CM Punk came back, said some words. One Bill Phil in an industry of counterfeit bucks. Wow, my dick's hard. He said the king is back. And the only thing, blah, 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 softer than the wrestlers or softer than your fucking penis is the wrestlers or some shit. And everybody busted a nut. That was one of the weakest CM Punk promos I've ever heard. I don't know where you guys have been living underneath a rock. He's done much better promos in the past. So he cuts some words, and then at the end of the night, he wins a fucking nonsensical 6-man schmaz match. The middle of the show saw a dinosaur beat Wardlow, once again nailing the final fucking nail into the coffin of Wardlow. You got Sky Blue teaming up with Willow Nightingale to fucking take out the Outcast. I thought we're supposed to take the Outcast seriously. What else did you I don't even know. Andrade and Buddy had a good wrestling match. Afterwards, House of Black shows up in the ring. What was their big attack? Brody gave him a clothesline. Lights go out, we go to commercial. That was it? The whole group shows up to deliver a clothesline post-match? Andrade took more than a clothesline in the match. None of it makes sense, but you know what? Basically, just enjoy it, man. This was epic, flawless, and perfect. What do you mean it was epic, flawless? No, it was a wrestling show. It was fun for the time being. A night of bowling is fun. A night at the strip club is fun. A night playing fucking bingo with old ladies could be fun. You're not going to do it every week. Well, maybe the old ladies would. But you're not going to do that. You're not going bowling every week. You're not going to the strip club every week. First of all, you'd be fucking bankrupt, but probably you're going to find different sources of fun. Fun alone is not going to captivate a wrestling world. You have to have more than just fun. What was the storyline that captivated you on Saturday night's Collision? There was none. Well, Punk has a title in his Santa Claus bag. He's going to claim he's the champ, and him and MJF are going to have a title versus title calamity, Beasley. And then you got people going, well, Willow Nightingale and, I keep wanting to say Roxy, Sky Blue, and the Outcast, they have a storyline, Beasley. Everyone just needs to watch the show. That's not a storyline. They're just attacking each other and having random matches. There's no story that's captivating anybody. Stop it. Stop it. If I go outside and I take a shit on my neighbor's fucking porch, it's not a storyline. I just took a shit on your porch. Collision was fun and decent. You want to call it good, I'll give it to you. You start calling it flawless, epic, and whatever else you're calling it, no. No, that's why I draw the fucking line, and now we're just being wrestling fans at our worst. We're taking something that was a little okay, and we're making it sound like it's the greatest thing since the Amplified podcast or sliced bread. Stop over-exaggerating. We live in a day and age in wrestling where in 60 seconds we get "this is awesome" chants. Every 6-minute fiasco that has a bunch of flips and dives with no in-ring psychology and no selling gets a "this was a banger" on social media tweet. We watch wrestling and we see how many imaginary BS stars Meltzy Boy's gonna give it. This is the shittiest era in pro wrestling ever. Last night makes me fucking nauseous because I believe they tried to try last night on Monday Night Raw. I truly believe they thought they were trying. They thought they were trying last night. What the fuck? And how many F-bombs have I already delivered in the first 12 minutes of this podcast? I'm probably already demonetized. The tube doesn't like when I swear too much from the very jump. Fuck them. I don't need their fucking ad revenue anyway. My amplified unit, do you know how many coffees they throw to this channel every fucking week? My amp unit will single-handedly make sure that we stay live on the air going forward. I don't need any fucking ad revenue. Bitch, this is still a hobby. This ain't even a job for BC and I became successful. Fuck out of here, dog. Who you fucking with, dude? You think I'm some other schmuck in the community? You think I'm a BSer, bro? Do you think I just came from a fucking silver spoon down the block? I'm the real motherfucker, bro. I connect. My people will put me on their fucking back and make sure we stay on the air. Fuck we doing, dude? My unit runs this platform. I think they tried to try, or they thought they were trying. Who the fuck? That's right, I'll drop as many F-bombs as I want. Fuck the tube. Who the fuck thought it was a good idea to have Finn Balor? This is Paul Levesque's booking. I love an hour before the show. We got our weekly dirt sheet. Vince McMahon. Breaking story. Vince McMahon is remotely changing the script, especially the beginning. We get this every week, right? Right before Raw, because we know the show's going to be trash. So we got to make sure we protect Paul Levesque, because his title is only the head of everything creative. The creative god is his title. But we have to protect Paul Levesque. We have to just blame Vince. So we get our weekly report that Vince is remotely changing shit, and then we start the show. That way we can all be okay with Paul, and we can just trash Vince, and that's just what we do. Little did these idiots know, we literally started with a Paul Levesque Pinocchio puss face. Pinocchio Paul. Classic. This is what he does. He likes to have the jump angle, and then a commercial, and then we come back to the jump angle. He did the same thing with Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes a couple of months ago. This was Paul Levesque's blueprint back in NXT, if you guys remember. So if you know how to truly critique a wrestling show, you get to know how the promoters think, what they do. Paul Levesque loves to do that type of thing. They split this over 2 different segments. So this was Paul Levesque through and through at the beginning of the show. But if you read the dirt sheets, it was Vince heavily with the first segment. Heavily? The first segment was only 5 minutes. It was one of the quickest commercial breaks. It's a Paul Levesque classic. It's what he always used to do. You come back, he's getting jumped backstage. It's the same thing they did with Cody and Brock a couple of months ago. This is what Paul Levesque does, guys. So, it was just hilarious to see the Vince McMahon reports, and then you literally see a Triple H, a Hunter Hearst Helmsley booking right from the start of the show. But who the fuck, and the answer is obviously Paul Levesque, but anybody else that was with him and thought this was a good idea, you have Finn Balor jump this guy. Okay, if done properly, I can be okay with it. The reason I wasn't always onto this, the reason I wasn't totally on board is because Sethington Rollins doesn't connect with BC. I know, that's sad, right? Wah, wah, wah. Oh, I don't know about that take, BC. BC, man, I was with you until you said that, man. I hear you. If you want to sing along, guys. I'm going to mute the fuck out of you. Because I have to mute the TV when you do the sing-along. It literally makes me nauseous. That's not just a cute little thing that I'm saying as a haha. It makes me nauseous to see thousands of people like fucking Walking Dead zombies. And we do that for 20 minutes. Guys, I get nauseous. On top of that, the Sethington character, I don't know what it is. It doesn't connect with me. Without a storyline, Sethington just has another title, just like when he had the U.S. title. Nothing Sethington Rollins is in intrigues me. Sorry, not sorry if I'm the oddball out on this one. Sorry, not sorry if I'm in the minority. Sethington Rollins is over for you because of the sing-along. He's got no fucking storyline. He has nothing intriguing, and there's nothing captivating a lot of you guys if you were to truly dissect your own assessment of your feelings on Rollins. If you want to sing along, that's fine. Don't try to sell BC like this dude's been doing anything interesting in the last 12 months. Sethington Rollins does not connect. Eric Newton, 5-month membership, trying to give Punk another chance, but he makes it so hard to believe him. Every time I see him, he just reminds me of what he did at the Scrum. Punk will never, but once a Punk, always a Punk. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Punk is the egotistical Aaron Rodgers of pro wrestling. He is. And Aaron Rodgers was a Green Bay Packer quarterback. I love that dude for years. I appreciate what he's done, just like Punk in the wrestling business. But you know what? Some dudes are just bridge burners. They burn bridges wherever they go, whether they're consciously trying to do it or subconsciously. They burn bridges. It happens. And it's sad to say. Aaron Rodgers, they know how to manipulate, though. You see, when Punk comes back, he gets his clique together and he makes it look like he's the victim and he starts shaking hands with everybody. What's Aaron Rodgers doing now in New York with the Jets? You see him at all the shows, Broadway, sporting events. He's shaking hands and taking photos at practice. He never went to practice with the Packers. He's Mr. Magazine cover now. He's the poster child for one of the nicest sports people in the world right now. Aaron Rodgers, one of the biggest egotistical dicks, is acting like he's running for president or some shit, right? They know how to manipulate. These narcissistic, egotistical D-bags, they are master manipulators. Punk will get exactly what he wants from everybody. The crowd, you, even if you don't, he'll try to get you back because that's what Punk does. He'll manipulate you. He'll manipulate the locker room. And when he gets what he wants, you will be burned if you're standing on the bridge he happens to be going across. Eric Newton, I appreciate you, brother. But with Sethington Rollins, it's the same fucking belt situation, just with a new runners-up participation trophy is what it's called now, not the U.S. title. Sethington does not connect with BC, and I know he doesn't for a lot of you guys, man. There's nothing he is doing that is intriguing. So now you have Balor attack him. Okay, if at nothing else, Finn Balor is going to look really good. Judgment Day is going to look masterfully powerful right now, right? That's the good news. If at nothing else, Finn Balor's going to look good, Judgment Day is being booked strong. We come back from 5 minutes in, we go to commercial, we come backstage, Sethington's jumped again by Finn Balor. Wow. Okay, now they're really making something out of Balor, really showing the dominance of Judgment Day. And guys, after a return, I'll get to that in a second, Tommaso, we went to a Judgment Day top of the ramp promo. All of them are out there. This is right after the jumping. Tommaso comes back for a quick match. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And then Judgment Day is back out there, top of the ramp, all cutting a promo, each one of them. I'm like, they are really making something of Judgment Day. This is good. This is okay. I can, even if I'm not totally intrigued with it, setting it up will eventually in the future, get me intrigued, hopefully, right? With what they're doing. So set it up. I'm okay with giving it the time. I have patience, trust me. So they're setting up good, you think, right? I mean, the backstage attack, they're all cutting a promo minutes later. And at the end of the fucking night, I'm not even bullshitting you, at the end of the night, Damian Priest, Judgment Day, flat on their back looking up at the lights. The Judgment Day loses a nonsensical six-man tag, the very definition of 50-50 booking. And you do not 50-50 book an act that you just for 2 hours before the third hour were booking like a dynasty. We wasted 3 hours in the most literal sense. I know a lot of us say that when a show is so fucking bad that we say we wasted 3 hours. But I literally mean the whole setup for the show was to show the dominance of Judgment Day. Because most likely Damian Priest is not winning Money in the Bank. It's going to be a Logan Paul, or hopefully we're all going to say L.A. Knight. Yeah. But it ain't going to beat Damian, most likely. Most likely, Dom Dom is not going to beat Cody Rhodes. Most likely, Balor is not going to walk out with the title, even though it's London, because Sethington just got it. Unless they do a hot potato. The title is so meaningless, maybe we do that. But judging by Sethington getting attacked like he did last night, the strap is probably staying on Sethington. My point is, and I don't even know what Rhea has. Does Rhea Ripley even have a Money in the Bank match for the title? I don't even think so. Maybe they're going to have Nattie do the rematch there because they tried to do it last night and Rhea took her out. But my point is, Judgment Day is going to have a miserable, most likely, Money in the Bank. So they're bumping them up. Cool. At the end of the show, they're flat on their back taking a massive L. Not cool. Not cool! What are we doing? Who would book something like that? Who would book such utter fucking trash? To spend 3 hours bumping up a legit faction to have that faction lose, literally a six-man, so it's most of their faction, against a team that doesn't even tag together. 20 minutes before the match, Sami and KO walk up to Cody and they're like, hey man, we can tag with you if you want. And Cody's like, well, fuck, I only had Ninja Tozawa, so I'm going to boot him, Das Boot, and you guys could be my tag. And the team that is a legit faction, they travel together, eat together, train together, wrestle together, and they lose this six-man fucking tag. BC, you got to know the faces are going to go over, man. Why? Why? That happens at a house show! Monday Night Raw is nothing more than a fucking house show. Send the fans home happy. Let the faces win, and then look at the hard camera, and it doesn't matter which fucking show. You could choose Collision on Saturday night. You got FTR and CM Punk as the faces, celebrating to the hard cam. Good night, everybody. Monday Night Raw, Cody, KO, and Sami in a six-man, celebrating to the hard cam. Good night, everybody. These shows all end the same. I don't give a fuck about fucking Cody Rhodes any more than I did going into WrestleMania when they did the botch with Roman. He should have walked out with the title. Cody Rhodes has fucking nothing. The Brock Lesnar shit never even had a reason for the story, so therefore the story from day one was nullified. Cody and Dom Dom I'm looking forward to more than Brock and Cody Part 3. And KO and Sami, I don't even know what they're doing with the titles. They had nothing. They won it at WrestleMania, which was the right decision, and they have nothing. They're in six-man tags with Judgment Day. They're in six-man tags with Imperium. They're in six-man tags with fucking Eva Marie, Dana Brooke, and Lana. Who the fuck knows who they're in six-man tags with? They don't know what they're doing. Kevin Owens is trying a new character backstage where he's just, oh my goodness, he's so amplified. He's been sniffing some of Tony Khan's stash. What's going on? I don't know what's happening, man. Sami Zayn KO could not be more irrelevant right now. Cody Rhodes has done nothing but go backwards since WrestleMania. And Judgment, the whole show last night from the jump was to pump up Judgment Day. And at the end of the show, Judgment Day's taking the L. Judgment Day's looking up at the lights while the faces are cheering over them. 50-50 booking helps who? Who? Nobody. I got the answer for you. Nobody does 50-50 booking help. Tomasso comes back last night. Tomasso comes back and everybody's crying, well, why didn't they do it with Johnny Gargano? Why didn't they do DIY, basically? First of all, why the fuck, Ty, do you have that little faith in Tomasso that he could be a fucking star? You're going to try to recreate Black and Gold because you busted a nut on it and you know they're a good tag team. Okay, the tag team division is irrelevant. It's not existent. There's no tag division, guys. We're still having matches every week with Alpha Academy and the Vikings. What does that tell you? So you're not thinking clearly. You're saying shit as a fan. Okay, let it end there. Please don't put your thoughts onto social media because you're going to look like a fucking idiot. What happens when Tomasso and Johnny get together? 3-minute matches with the Vikings? Faces versus faces with Alpha Academy? Are they going to get tag team gold? Whoa, I'm busting a nut live. What are they doing? You're not thinking, man. There's no tag division, guys. Why would you do Johnny that dirty? Why would you do Tomasso dirty? See, this is why BC's got the answers. Even other podcasters, content creators, journalists, dirt sheet reporters, whatever the fuck you're reading or watching or listening to, they probably aren't even thinking ahead. They're just thinking of the randomest shit, right? Well, Tomasso's coming back. Johnny has nothing. Let's put them together. Okay. That's working great with Shelton and Cedric, by the way. It's working great for Sheamus and the Brawling Brute. Sheamus is on fucking podcast talking about how he's miserable. He's unhappy. He thinks it's insane, the booking in WWE right now. Fuck you gonna do? You're gonna try to relive Black and Gold with Tomasso and Johnny. Do you realize that even if you believe Vince has handcuffs on Paul Levesque, even if he gives him free reign, do you understand that Paul Levesque cannot handle 3 hours of television? He has told you that. In his own words, he can't. He can't do 2 hours of television. Paul Levesque does not know how to book 2 hours of television. He doesn't know how to. Doesn't. He was his best when he had 1 hour on the WWE network. Just like many believe WWE was best when it had superstars of wrestling. I'm talking way before Attitude Era. 1 hour on Superstars. They think some of those stories were the very best. I can't argue that. 1 hour of television is much different. Paul Levesque is fucking lost. You give him the keys to the kingdom, and he'll fucking somehow drown in the Atlantic. And knowing Paul, you tell him to go over the Atlantic, he'd somehow be in the Pacific. No, if you think I'm going to bust a nut over Tomasso and by the way, you're probably going to get that anyway. Johnny Gargano's been out. When Johnny Gargano comes back, Tomasso just came back. Who knows? You guys will probably get what you're fucking begging for. Johnny and Tomasso. And then you're going to quickly see BC was right. Wow. This is not what it was in Black and Gold. This is not what I was expecting. This isn't captivating me, basically. I know. I tried to tell you. Just reliving Black and Gold in today's pro wrestling, even with Paul Levesque running a lot of this show, it's done. It's a different time. Paul Levesque is in a whole different mental space anyway. He doesn't even want full fucking control. The fact that he's doing all of this creative shit for WWE is probably giving him a headache and hurting his fucking heart. So please stop the bitching with Johnny and Tomasso. It's probably gonna happen anyway because the company only knows how to do nostalgic shit. This company only knows how to do redundancy. Once this singles run for Tommaso already falls flat, and Johnny's already has 3 different times, we'll just throw them together in a tag division that doesn't even exist. And we'll let them fucking mingle in a tag division. Let's see how many of you are captivated with Tommaso and Johnny as a tag team. DIY in a month, 2 months, 6 months. Same reason for the women. Sasha and Naomi had to walk the fuck out. They don't do tag wrestling. You used to say Vince just hates it. H doesn't know how to book it either. Since Triple H, Paul Levesque, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Pinocchio, Pussface, Schnoz McGee has had any type of control in WWE, the tag division has been irrelevant for the women and the men. If you are seriously blaming that all on just Vince, you do not know what the fuck you're talking about. I understand Vince is still in the fucking weeds. He's mowing the weeds. He's fucking landscaping them. He's fucking perfectly sculpting the weeds. He's pissing in the weeds. I understand Vince is in the weeds. Paul Levesque is the head landscaper. He's the shit literally with his nose into the fucking weeds, smelling every scent, seeing every ladybug. And for months, we have seen no development in the tag division. And you want to do poor Tommaso filthy like that? Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, right? Everyone's talking about what a good showing they had with Ronda and Shayna. What do they do this week? Right, I honestly think this is WWE thinking they're capitalizing on that, right? Hey, we're going to showcase them a little more. Wait till you hear what the fuck they did. Cody Rhodes, wait till you hear how he's fucking used. Logan Paul pulls a Charlie Flair card, just fucking shows up, says, hey, by the way, I talked to the execs. I just got off the phone with Paul Levesque. Even though we were 6 feet from one another backstage, 5 feet and a half. I'm in the match at Money in the Bank. And then from there, SmackDown talent just shows up. Because, you know, brand split. They're all in full gear, no pun intended to AEW. But you have SmackDown talent that's just hanging out at Raw in their gear. And they're going out there. What are you doing? Oh, yeah, wait. BC, you got to remember, man, they have visitors passes, man, because brand split. And I can go on and on. You know what? Let's just start the review, man. That's your cold open. 33 plus minutes of BC just fucking irate, because I truly think this was them trying last night. I saw so much Paul Levesque in this show. I saw so much from the very beginning with the double scene there, with the double attack out at ringside, and then quick commercial, and then backstage. Same thing they did with Brock and Cody. Backstage, and then they did the beatdown after break, another backstage segment. So it was Cody and Brock's beatdown. Triple H loves to do that shit. That's how we know. And an hour before the show, the Sean Rosses and the reporters, they tried to say, oh, well, Vince is remotely changing the show, especially the beginning. And then we see literally a Paul Levesque classic to start the show. I'm telling you, man, you can't make this up. BC literally LOL'd, man. I laughed my fucking ass off when I saw Triple H totally booking that first segment. And by the end of the show, there's Judgment Day, who was booked to look like... We were supposed to. Last night was the calling card. Last night, we were supposed to all go, now the company is taking Judgment Day seriously. Now we can properly do so as well. We can fall in line. Instead, the company said, Saeed JK... 50-50 booking, bitch! Judgment Day looks strong as fuck for the show, and at the end of the show, they're getting their asses whooped on their backs. 1, 2, 3, looking up at the lights. Judgment Day already clowns. The fuck we doing? This is the Amped Up Podcast for Tuesday, June the 20th, 2023. We will be featuring the Monday Night Raw review for 6/19/23. I'll be your host, BC Amplified. Glad to have you guys on board. I want to go over a quick membership of 6 months with Clutch City Fan. BC, Triple H, and Vince booking had been bad for so long. I don't watch Raw or SmackDown. I just watch the pay-per-views. Salute BC. Red Team, go! And Gold Team, Clutch City Fan, Gold member for 6 months, channel membership. I appreciate you so much, man. Clutch City Fan, 6 months of being a member. I do not take that lightly, man. We're going to have a members championship title coming soon, guys. We're going to have an actual championship title for the channel member of the week. Christopher Blackshear has been for more than a week. I have the new channel member of the week. Do I announce it now or do I announce it later? What do you guys think? Maybe a little bit. Yeah, I'll announce it later. You got to remind me to announce it later, guys. New channel member of the week. I will announce it a little bit later. Long time channel subscriber too, by the way. So it makes sense that channel membership, this was one of the first members to jump on board. And now the title could be made in time for this individual, by the way. We'll see. So we'll go over that if I am reminded. But Christopher Blackshear is no longer channel member of the week. Maybe in the future you can become 2-time, 3-time, 4-time, 5-time. You could be a fucking Charlie Flair 107-time champ and beat fucking Ric Flair 16. You see that 16 up there? That was the man. Nature Boy Ric Flair there, man. Unfortunately, they're just having his daughter just easy peasy in about 8 years already get the fucking title. Unreal. Then they give somebody like Naomi, who's been there longer and is just as, if not better than Charlotte in the ring, and they give her 2 titles. And then they wonder, after they put her in a nonsensical tag team in a nonsensical division, a non-existent division, they wonder why Naomi walked away. What? What do you mean we're not treating you well? You've been here 10 years, we gave you 2 titles, and we stuffed you in a tag team that doesn't have a division. Oh, guys, let's start this show, man. If you don't mind, BC is going to get a big swig of his, what do we got here? Dunkin' Iced Mocha is going to be our 4th coffee of the morning / afternoon, evening, wherever you guys are in the world. To all my channel members, I appreciate, man. I know this was short notice. This was going to be a full Red Team Go amp unit chat in this live stream, but at the very, I just knew that this was going to be an amplified type of a stream. I knew I was not... We just had to get fully amplified, man. I'm just pissed off at the state of pro wrestling right now. And fans are so... They're tired. The promoters have beaten them so badly, the fans, that the fans, I believe, are submitting. I'm seeing in the wrestling world, like WWE, AEW, a lot of fans are lowering their bars now. And they're just saying, you know what? I'm just so sick and tired of complaining. I can't do it anymore. I'm just going to sit back and be entertained. That's what I want to do. I'm really trying to, man. I'm not going to quit watching what I love. I didn't quit watching my Knicks when they were so bad for years. My Yankees right now are one of the worst fucking teams in baseball. You don't even want to know what we're going through right now, my New York Yankees, but I don't stop watching. I don't stop watching what I love. I try to help, right? As fans, we go to the Yankee game, we go to the Knicks game, and we shout out our frustration as fans, hoping that somebody in management will understand, right? The players can get rejuvenated. Something will connect. That's what fans would do. We would voice out our displeasure. We just don't get beaten into submission. You don't show up to a Knicks game when they're losing by 30 points and they haven't been to the playoffs in 20 years, and you don't just sit there and twiddle your thumbs. Good try, Johnston. Good job, man. Patrick Ewing would be proud. Don't worry. It's only 37 points, guys. People have lost by more. We don't do that, no. I feel like fans are getting beaten into submission, where they're just... It's been bad for so long, and now they're just putting up with it. A decent show is becoming great. A good show is now flawless, perfect, and phenomenal. And then there's Monday Night Raw, where people are like, wow, it's so much happened, BC. That's why I think they tried to try last night. A lot happened while simultaneously nothing happened. So much. I actually am back to 3 pages of notes. For weeks, I've only been at 1 page. That's how nonsensical these shows have been. A lot did happen last night. And when it's all said and done, literally nothing happened last night. So anyway, to my gold members, that's every single green name in this chat with a gold card after you guys, man. Let me give you a proper salute, man, because this was on short notice. And my fucking gold team, look at my gold team, man. JR9 Gaming, my right-hand man on the channel. Gruss512, WWE, AEW, Marvel fan, Silver Black 31, Deontay Thomas, Robert Hurt, Eric Newton, Dwayne Piazza, Trina Scott, Jane Donnelly, Brad Boyer, Big Nang. I think I got Deontay Thomas, right? Alicia Vukovic. Mike Coldren, Jack Brewer, James Shrimp Fajitas, Pimp Jesus. I know I got Eric Newton, John Gray, James Miller, Clutch City Fan, Dave Mille, D. Monte, Ty Drew, Batty Banks, Ray Hunt. Man, so many gold card members, man, getting to catch BC live. I know the majority are going to catch this afterwards because this was short notice, under 40 minutes, members only chat. But most of you guys are going to catch this within the next 24 hours. Thousands of you guys will end up catching this. So even if you weren't able to catch BC live, I still want to give a proper salute, especially to my gold card members, but my entire unit as well. And thank you for smashing that up on your way in. Help out the algorithm. Here's a salute to my gold team, man. You guys are stepping up big time at a time where BC is going to rant. And I'm just starting the review. That was just the cold open. Let's get this bitch started amplified style. No. One big swig isn't enough, man. This is my fourth coffee. I said, let's start this amplified style. That's what we're doing. Because in the end, they're all going to say, L.A. Knight, yeah. This fucking guy is a star. If they don't catapult L.A. Knight, man, snap of a finger with the quickness, starting at Money in the Bank, and don't you ever take that rocket down. You let that star shine as bright as it's going to be. Yeah. Monday Night Raw, 6/19/23. Show opens with Finn Balor. Complete annihilation of Sethington Rollins. Fix that shit. Square that up. There you go. So this is a Finn Balor annihilation of Sethington Rollins. All right. This was over 2 different segments. First segment was literally 5 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes, and we went right to a commercial break. We come back, and Sethington is now being jumped backstage. And by the way, the first attack by ringside, there was several coup de grace. He's over the fucking announce table getting annihilated. Sethington's getting his ass whooped. Jason Jordan's trying to break it up. Adam Pearce is trying to break it up. You have a lot of people trying to break this shit up, and to no avail. We go to commercial, we come back, Finn Balor's attacking him backstage. Okay, Brock Lesnar, Cody-esque, about a month ago. I'm cool with that. As long as at the end of the show, Balor and Judgment Day is still looking strong. Did that happen? Not so fast. But that's how we started this. All the reports that McMahon is remotely changing the show, especially the beginning, and the beginning is literally a Paul Levesque classic. He always does this type of double-segmented feud. And he was told that he doesn't have a lot of time, so he can't really draw it out for 12 minutes. So what does he do? He does this weird 5-minute thing, and then the 2-minute backstage. So we can set up Tommaso to end a real Q1, which is a full 15-minute slot. So Paul Levesque said, all right, I'm going to get a little tricky here. I'm going to try to outsmart this. I'm going to put Tommaso as part of that Q1, the return. The problem is Tommaso Ciampa returns, and he defeats the fucking Miz. The finish was a fairy tale finisher. And that's supposed to captivate your wrestling audience, man. All that time off, I think he said 275 days. That seems like an extreme amount of time, but I think I was accurate in hearing that. Tommaso said he's been gone for 275 days. And the best this is what I mean. Back in the day, guys, you had proper returns. People thought about it, they knew about it in advance, and they got uber creative. Tommaso comes back after 275 days. What is that? 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, 210, 240, 270. 8 to 9 months-ish. Roughly 9 fucking months. And he comes back and don't forget, he never captivated before. If you watched NXT, if you know Tommaso like BC and many of you, most likely many of my gold card members in this chat, my channel members, you guys know Tommaso. You understand how awesome he is. You understand what this dude could and should be doing. But he didn't connect with the whole world of wrestling on his first fucking I mean, he was just connected to The Miz, and then he got injured. So to bring him back, they put him right back with The Miz. He beats The Miz. BC, he's got to come back and win, man. Who better than The Miz? He's a residential jobber. BC, I don't see the problem in this, man. BC, what's the problem? Tell him, Mach, tell him. Oh, yeah, I'll tell you the problem. Yeah, the problem is that nothing captivated. Yeah, there's no storyline upon his return. Yeah, he came back, he won a nonsensical match, and we all went about our business. Yeah. Good job, Mach. Get back up there, buddy. I know you don't want to listen to Monday Night Raw and you talk about Monday Night Raw, but we got to talk about Monday Night Raw, Mach. He comes back and wins a match. Okay, what the fuck are we doing, guys? And by the way, this was a couple of minutes. I think 4 minutes it clocked in. What are we doing? Tommaso beats Miz. I can't even fathom that's all you had. You get one shot at a first impression. One chance. That's why it's called a first impression. You are already being sized up and judged on that first impression. When you go to the first day of school, your first day at work, whatever shoes you have on, whatever hoodie you got, maybe you're sporting the amp unit fucking straight up think be live amplified hoodie, whatever you're wearing, you're gonna be judged. You come in with this getup, you come up with this merch, they're gonna know you're badass, not to fuck with you. You go in there with the Sesame Street Big Bird hoodie, you're probably gonna get fucking booed out, kicked out, das boot out of the school, out of your little cubicle. You come in with your fucking Jordans, you might be accepted. You come in with bootlegs, you're gonna be getting das boot. You're being sized up and judged on your first impression, day one. Now, when you get injured for a long time, the good news is if there is a glimmer of hope, light at the end of the tunnel, the good news is you're going to get another shot at a first impression because you're going to be gone so long. When you come back, you get to start anew. And this is what I mean. He had a second chance at a first impression, and he fucking, Paul Levesque in WWE fucking botched it again. Because what are we talking about? Tommaso returned and he beat Miz. Well, BC, it makes sense. They're culminating the story. See, he was with Miz, and now that's his declaration that he's on his own. Right? Like a kid that runs away, right? I don't want to listen to you anymore. I'm running away. Okay, could you not have done it in a proper story-termed fashion? Give me something that's intriguing. His return could have been more fun. Music hits, there's Tommaso. All of a sudden, there's a ref in the ring. I didn't even know it was a match. I thought Miz was just saying a bunch of words. Tommaso comes out, there's a referee. 4 minutes later, Tommaso's like, that's right, and this is only the beginning. I'm back for all the gold. That's what I mean. Wrestling fans today have been beaten into a submission. They're like, okay with it. They're like, I didn't mind it, Beasley. I understand it could have been better, Beasley. But I didn't mind it, BC. At least he's back. We'll see what they do. Hey, BC, let's be patient, man. Hey, BC. Come on, I'm going to give you some advice. Let's let it play out, BC. Meanwhile, I'm thinking of Tommaso. I'm thinking, like, I have 100 ways creatively for this dude to come back. Like, you guys know, if you've been following the channel for a long time, I used to do amplified booking. I love creating this shit. I love just masterminding this shit, and it doesn't cost any more money. I'm doing it realistically with the resources that they have. I came up with 100 fun ways, and what did they do? They hit his music. A referee came out in a 4-minute Miz match. I told you, I saw Tommaso a couple of months ago, Epcot. Down in Disney World, Epcot World Showcase, it was a food festival. You go around, you drink some drinks, you get some world-class food, and they represent every country's food and drinks. It's fun, man. He was with his family, his little daughter, what was it, Willow and his wife? I think his daughter's name's Willow, and his wife was there. So I didn't go up and, I'm not one of those people that's going to fucking be like, oh, man, hey, man, I cover your stuff on my channel. Good to see you. Can't wait till you come back, man. I'm not one of those people. The dude's with his family. Let him eat. Let him drink around the fucking world. Let him have fun with his family. But it was cool to see him. He looked in great shape. And I started to think, dude, this guy is imminent. He's ring ready. And I started to really get creative. I'm like, this is going to be good, man, if they do this properly. Instead, you just fucking, this could not have been any more anticlimactic. And they just stuff him right back with the fucking Miz. Basically, it's culminating the story. No, it's not. It's fucking lackluster. It's lazy. They had nothing. It seems like they just told him he was coming back like a week ago. And then they decided not to even do anything for the whole week creatively for him. They're just like, hey, what if we just come out there and have him beat Miz? Tommaso comes back. I like to see him. And the wrestling community is already crying. It should have been him and Johnny Gargano. And as I said in the Mach, you're going to have to listen to the whole fucking thing. Nobody wants to talk about Raw, but we have to discuss it. Stay. Oh, yeah, you got to stay, brother. Always trying to run away. He doesn't want to talk about fucking Raw. Doesn't want to talk about Monday Night Raw. So, you take the Tomasso shit. You take the Judgment Day shit, and this is your whole first Q1. It's chaotic. There's a return, right? It's chaotic with the beatdown with Judgment Day and over Sethington, Ballard, Sethington. You get the chaoticness with the return of Tomasso. You're thinking, on paper, this sounds good, right? No. No. It's absolutely the bare bottle minimum. And fans are talking about Johnny and Tomasso. That's what I was saying before Macho Man tried to run the fuck away. So you have people crying that you don't get Johnny and Tomasso. As I said in the cold open, guys, there's no division. You're literally strapping an anchor onto Johnny and Tomasso because you want to relive Black and Gold. Stop. It's hard enough for them to think of anything for Johnny Gargano on his own. Anything for Tomasso on his own. You think by putting them together when they do not give any second look to the tag division, you think that's any better? Are you thinking about what you're saying when you say Johnny and Tomasso back together? And again, I'll say what I said in the cold open. You're probably going to get that anyway, because all roads lead to that. When they have done every beating of a fucking dead horse that they're going to do on Tomasso and Johnny, and they have nothing left for them singly. Or maybe it's when Johnny comes back, they're going to throw him right with Tomasso. But you're going to end up getting that because it's the easiest road for WWE to go on. Let's just do DIY again. Again, I would not have a problem with that if there was a division. Look at Alpha Academy. Look at Alpha Academy, I'm asking you! Look at Alpha Academy. Look at Viking Raiders. Look at Street Profits. Look at New Day when they're all healthy and wrestling. They could not be more fucking stale. Usos have to be in the Bloodline storyline. Usos, one of my favorite tag teams in the world with the Briscoe brothers. Usos I'd put in the same category if they weren't in this Bloodline shit because there's no division. And you want to put in DIY. Why would you do them filthy like that? But WWE's going to do it. WWE's absolutely going to do it. Because it's the easiest thing to do. Once they realize they don't have anything for them individually, they'll stuff them in a tag team, and then when it fails because they're not giving them any proper booking, they're going to look at the fans and say, we did everything you said. We gave you DIY. And you didn't like it. Because what did you do with them? But that's what we're going to hear. You know what? Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. When Johnny comes back next week, I think it's going to be right after Money in the Bank, correct? Johnny Gargano is supposed to return the night after Money in the Bank, I believe is what it is. But whenever it is, just throw him over there then. Let's just get this done with. Because I know fans are not going to stop fucking crying until DIY is back together. Again, I wouldn't mind it if there was a true division. You want to say maybe that's the catalyst to start a good division. Yeah, we said that how many times about this division for the men and how many times for the women. It never happens, guys. We said that about Bayley and Sasha in the women's. We said that about Naomi and Sasha. For the men, we've said that countless times. They don't care about it. Doesn't matter how good you are in the ring. It doesn't matter how good you are at telling a proper fucking story. If they're not going to give you a story, if they're not going to give you proper time, it's DOA. So that's the first 15 minutes, right? Balor completely annihilates Sethington, and we get a returning Tomasso. Then we have a Judgment Day complete promo. All of the individuals of Judgment Day, top of the ramp, each one of them cutting a promo. At this point, BC was like, they're delivering some proper time to fucking Judgment Day. Balor with the beatdown at the start of the show, and now we're getting a full-fledged promo by all members top of the ramp. Okay, let's do this. Captivate me. Who was it? Each one took the mic. Each one had a mic. Damian Priest talks about winning Money in the Bank. Damian Priest talking a big game, right? Maybe he could somehow overtake a Logan Paul or an LA Knight. Yeah. So Damian Priest talking about how he's going to win Money in the Bank. Dominic Dum Dum talking about how he's going to somehow beat Cody Rhodes. Finn Balor's talking about how he's going to dethrone Sethington. I wish I could tell you what Rhea Ripley was talking about. I don't even think she has a Money in the Bank match for the title. I think it's probably going to be a Nattie rematch because they didn't do it last night. That's another story. But I also didn't know what she was saying because I was looking at her shirt. You see the merch they have? Dum Dum and Rhea. There's a shirt that says, "You wish you were here." It's got a photo of Dominic and Rhea, and Dominic is like holding her ass, sort of. So it's focusing on Rhea's ass, and it says, "You wish you were here." I was like, whoa, is this Buddy approved? Buddy Murphy, Matthews, McGillicuddy? Does Buddy know this is out there, man? The merch went a little bit of attitude era, bro. So I don't know what Rhea was talking about, but for the most part, everybody was talking about their big night at Money in the Bank. But most likely, Dum Dum is going to lose to Cody. Most likely, Balor's not walking out of London with the championship. And most likely, Damian is not going to win Money in the Bank. But he talked such a good game. At the end of the night, Damian Priest is flat on his back, looking up at the lights, taking a pin in a nonsensical six-man, nullifying 50-50 booking, which is atrocious when it's all said and done. This should have been a complete night for Judgment Day. But at the time, we didn't know how that main event was going to end. We had a good hunch that the faces were just going to nonsensically win, but we were hoping for some type of a cliffhanger. We were hoping that Judgment Day would look really strong, even in defeat, maybe. No. Wait till you hear how the show ended. We'll talk about it. Right now, we'll continue on with hour number one. We then have a SmackDown Bloodline video package recap because brand split. Right? Brand split. The only storyline they have right now is the Bloodline. So we got to take 5 minutes of our Raw time, and we're going to show you our SmackDown storyline. Then we go into Katana Chance and Kaden Carter defeating Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville in legit 110 seconds, less than 2 minutes. Chance and Carter defeat Green and Deville, and this is obviously WWE's way to say, hey, you got a good reaction for Ronda and Shayna. We're going to give you more TV time. How's 110 seconds sound? I don't know what you think that does for Chance and Carter, by the way. I cannot tell you what this... Whatever, man. So you can't even say... Right, as fans, we just take it over the top, right? So you want to say, well, Chance and Carter at least are still evolving. They're still putting out good matches. I like their trajectory, BC. They're giving them a little bit of the rocket. You don't even know that from last night's matchup. You don't even know it. You blink and it was over. I couldn't tell you anything that happened in the match. And you expect us by Wednesday, Thursday to be talking about Chance and Carter? Get this. Then we have Cody Rhodes top of the ramp for a Kathy Kelly interview. And Cody just accepts a stupid six-man tag for later in the night to make Judgment Day look like idiots when it's all said and done. Again, we'll get to that in a couple minutes. But Cody Rhodes is out at the top of the ramp just to accept the six-man, and then that's it. He walks away. We go to commercial. You couldn't have done that backstage. Cody comes out, says, I accept, and then walks to the back. And then we end hour number one with Indashir defeating Shelton and Cedric. Does that not excite you, by the way? I'd rather see two jobbers in there so they can get annihilated even more. Make it more fun. Watch human beings get fucking tossed around the arena. No, instead, Shelton and Cedric are eating a 120-second loss to Indashir. 2 minutes. And that ended hour number one. Now, I'm not one of these fans that needs long matches, especially on TV shows. TV shows should set up storylines, right? 1 or 2 matches every show should go, okay, 20 minutes, maybe a little bit more. But I don't need all these long matches. But you look at hour number 1, and you have just under 8 minutes of wrestling. 8 minutes on a whole 60-minute show. And people are going to go, wow, so much happened in the first hour. No, nothing did. And again, I'm okay with shorter matches and not a lot of wrestling time if real storylines are being created. But let's go over the first hour again, guys. What got created? Katana Chance and Kaden Carter defeated Green and Sonya in 110 seconds. So what got developed for the future? What got you intrigued to see Sonya Deville and Chelsea in the future when they lost in this 110-second match? And what made you want to see Chance and Carter in anything? What developed more? BC, the fact that they beat Sonya and Chelsea in 110 seconds is going to piss off Chelsea and Sonya, and they're going to have a rematch, BC. That's the storyline. Come on, let's keep going, guys. Come on. Tommaso Ciampa came back and he beat The Miz. Okay, what's the storyline? BC, you got to wait for it. He just got back, bro. Okay, from day 1, you have a first chance impression again. You got a second chance at a first impression because you were injured and out for 9 months. So you came back and that's the best they had creatively? Same thing I said about CM Punk on Saturday night. Everybody got to hear him talk. Whoa, I'm the king is back. I'm on the microphone cutting a pipe bomb. And then at the end of the night, he wins a 6-man tag and then we go off the air. Nothing told you this CM Punk is involved in a storyline that is captivating the wrestling world. CM Punk and AEW did not do that on Saturday night. They didn't. WWE did not do that with Tomasso Ciampa's return. Not putting that in the same league as a CM Punk return, by the way. But you still want to develop something. Issue something from day 1 that's going to make people go, damn, did you see Tomasso's return? No, because I took a fucking shit for 4 minutes, came back, and the match was over with Miz. What happened? What storyline in hour number 1, Captain? Finn Balor attacked Sethington in a match that was basically made a week ago, and it's going to happen next Saturday night. So it's not really long-term storytelling. You got to go back a few years to when Balor beat Sethington for the first ever Universal title. Is that what we're doing? Because I've seen them wrestle 12 times since then, but we're going to act like this is the first rematch. Indashir taking out Cedric and Shelton. What's the story here, guys? That's my problem. You had less than 8 minutes of wrestling in hour 1, and everything else was fluff and utter. It was filler. You filled up hour 1 with nothing but useless shit that nobody is even going to want to remember. They're going to want to bang their dome piece against the nearest brick wall and put themselves into a fucking coma if this show didn't do it itself. That's hour 1. That's hour 1. In fact, rip it. I don't ever want to see this fucking hour again. I don't ever want to see that shit again. Get out. Get the fuck out. Hour number 2. Logan Paul starts hour number 2. Top of a ladder in the ring. Runs down Cleveland, his hometown, obviously. Declares that after talking to execs, we all know his buddy is Paul Levesque. And this is shit that Paul Levesque loves to do. Of course, this had Vince McMahon with him, but Paul and Logan are so fucking close. If you guys didn't know, they were very close. Paul Levesque loves these celebrities. Paul Levesque really just clings on to people like the Floyd Mayweathers, the Logan Pauls. You guys can probably think of a bunch of other celebrities that he just loves, clings on to. And he always did growing up in the wrestling, but Paul Levesque clings on to power. Paul Levesque clings on to star. I think he always thought as a young person coming up in the business that that's the only way he's going to be a star, if he clings on to others maybe. I have no fucking idea, but here's Logan Paul, and I've had nothing bad to say about Paul since he's come to WWE because he talks a good game and he backs it up amplified style in the ring. He's produced really good matches with Sethington, Roman Reigns, So I'm down with this dude being in matches and having the limelight and the spotlight. But this dude's out there on top of a ladder and he just says, I talked to execs and I am now in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Hold on, man. This is what I mean, guys. If we just take a deep breath, right? I know I'm entertaining and I'm screaming and we're getting amplified, but let's take a deep breath for a second and just understand how true my words are. If this company just cared more, we could do this in a fun way. If you want somehow, it's your company. It's WWE's. Okay, if you truly want Logan Paul in there and you have your reasons, who are we to say no? It's your company. Can you not do it in a creative way where we're all intrigued with the outcome as to how he got put into it? This company doesn't do it. They just bring Charlie 85 times out there. Charlie Flair comes out there and she just puts herself in matches because it doesn't take effort. It's easy peasy, as Oscar would say, right? We just have her come out, just set it up. Have Finn Balor go out there, even though Sethington beat Balor to win the championship. Remember? In the tournament? Balor is the one that fucking Sethington beat Balor, but all of a sudden Balor's going for the title at Money in the Bank. We're acting like that never happened a month ago, that matchup. They just announced shit. Right? Logan Paul goes out there, by the way, I'm in this match. They don't care, guys. They're insulting your intelligence. They're beating you down so bad as a fan that you're lowering the bar to the point where you're letting them off the hook. And then you come up to the BC's channel and you're like, BC, man, you're speaking the truth, but I'm just so tired of it, BC, because the company is never going to learn, and I'm trying a different approach. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy it, basically. I'm going to look at it through the eyes of my 7-year-old child, basically. I'm going to try to envision it like, you know what? This is just entertainment, basically. So you're submitting. You're just giving up on what we love and we know it should be. And you're just going to tap out and I'm going to fakely enjoy it, right? Because it's all a charade. You're not actually enjoying it. You're tapping out and you're just going to get fed whatever they give you. That's all you're really doing. They just had this guy on top of a ladder. And they just said, I talked to the execs, and they just put me in the match. But I thought people were qualifying. This is where you're not making sense. I could have sworn for weeks. In fact, this night, was it hour 2? Didn't Trish... Yeah, I went over in the cold open. Rodriguez and Trish had a Money in the Bank qualifier. You have people qualifying. And then you have a dude that shows up and he's just like, by the way, I just talked to H. Pinocchio put me in the match. Anyway, Ricochet then comes out, says words. Shinsuke then comes out, says words. And by the way, Shinsuke's English has gotten 247% better in the last 2 weeks. What the fuck happened to Shinsuke Nakamura? This dude is speaking better English than me now. Is he going to bed to Rosetta Stone? Waking up, having breakfast over Rosetta Stone? Taking a shit next to Rosetta Stone? He speaks better English than me lately. Congratulations, I really mean that. That's hard to do, to learn another language, man. Salute to Shinsuke. Something happened in the last couple of weeks where Shinsuke's just like, you know what? I'm going to start smashing these promos out the fucking water. So Shinsuke comes out, says some words. L.A. Knight, yeah, comes out, is clearly the crowd favorite. He's out there, he's cutting lines that are just dicing up the crowd. Just making everybody pop. I cannot say enough good words about L.A. Knight. This guy, he's just a star, man. From like day one, you know that. And it's just like, there's only so many ways you can tell the company to push this guy, right? Because then you're like, well, you know what? Why don't you start your own company, man? Right? You get all the idiots. Oh, WWE knows what they're doing. You got to have patience, BC. He's got to be a maximum male model first. He's into it, BC. You deal with struggle and adversity first. No, you take your fucking star and you put the fucking spotlight on him. His fucking shining light will fucking outdo that spotlight, and he'll ricochet, no pun intended, to the next stratosphere. That's LA Knight. Just let him. Just put the machine behind him. He'll do the rest. So LA Knight's out there, crowd favorite. Then Santos Escobar comes out there. Then finally Butch. They all brawl for about 20 seconds. That's all. And then Logan Paul takes them all out with an over-the-top rope swanton, really. I mean, the guy just floated in the air for 67 minutes, it seemed. Logan Paul is giftedly athletic to another degree. But he jumps over the ropes, delivers a fucking beauty. I mean, Jeff Hardy would have been fucking happy with the swanton. On to everybody. It's the bowling ball taking out all the pins. I can't stand that usually. Everybody hugs each other outside like they're fucking drunk at the local pub. And then they look up for 5 minutes waiting for the guy to shoot a fucking plane to fall on their heads. But they do the bowling pin scenario. Logan takes them all out. And that's the end of the segment. Now, can someone tell me why a bunch of SmackDown guys were just hanging around backstage at Raw in full gear? No pun intended to AEW. But they're in full gear. I mean, some of these guys are Butch is SmackDown, correct? Fuck is Butch just going down there with his fucking LA Knight is still SmackDown, correct? Yeah. Who else? Who else was SmackDown in this segment? Escobar. Santos Escobar is SmackDown, isn't he? Butch at JR9 Gaming. Butch is definitely SmackDown, thank you. LA Knight is SmackDown, correct? And Santos. So, I mean, you just got SmackDown talent just hanging out in gear. I know. They got visitors passes, BC. This is why. Is Ricochet SmackDown too? Yeah, JR9. Santos just beat Knight. Fruity roll-up on Friday. Talk about 50-50 booking. Ricochet is Raw. Yeah, not SmackDown. He got moved over. Good call. My point is, I mean, this is why the brand split is such a joke, and wrestling fans are like, what are we doing? Like, they announce a brand split, and then they have AJ Styles, a SmackDown talent, going for what was already said by Pinocchio Pussface to be a Raw title. So why is SmackDown even having a tournament for it? Then you have a SmackDown talent in Shotzi go to Raw to tag team with Raw's Raquel to go for tag championships. Then why did you do the brand split if you're making these dumb decisions? And so you have this tournament going on with SmackDown for a Raw title. You have Money in the Bank that includes SmackDown with Raw. Then why do the brand split if you ain't going to follow it? That's right. You know why? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you exactly why. I'll tell you why. You want to know fucking why, right? It's because... You know what the fuck we have. We have an official visitor's pass. So as long as we have a visitor's pass, I can show up to fucking TNA Impact. I can show up to Collision, Rampage, Dynamite, the local bingo hall. So, D-Money, Triple H logic. Why are we just blaming Vince up in the chat there, D-Money? Come on, you've been here long enough. I ain't blaming just Vince on that. If you think for 1 second that I'm blaming just Vince on Paul Heyman having a visitor's pass, or I'm blaming just Vince on AJ and SmackDown being able to compete for the Raw title, or I'm blaming just Vince on having Shotzi go to Raw to tag with Raquel, or I'm blaming just Vince for having all of the SmackDown guys on Raw last night? Paul Levesque doesn't have a voice? Nah, brah. Nah, I'm okay if you want to blame Vince, but you better say and H. I hope we're spreading the blame a little bit. I hope we're not a PDR, man. No, we are not a Pinocchio dick rider. You guys are giving Levesque too much fucking wiggle room, man. You give him too much love. And he doesn't love you back. And he's not going to take you on a date. Paul Levesque is not going to do such. Call it out for what it is. You know, D-Money. You know. D-Money knows, by the way. I'm branching that off from what I saw there, man. D-Money knows the deal. Matt Riddle then defeats Ludwig. So that's the Paul. I don't know. Logan Paul. It's LA Knights. If Logan Paul... See, Logan Paul, he already took 2 major L's. They might give this dude the contract. Could you imagine how insulting that would be? LA Knight is the guy to win the briefcase. That's it. LA Knight or bust. I said that about Cody at Mania. They went the other way. WWE and the wrestling world has never been the same since. It's almost like BC knows what the fuck he's talking about. Matt Riddle then defeats Ludwig Kaiser. Post-match, Gunther and Ludwig take out Riddle, snap his ankle. I'm glad, just like a week ago, they let the beating breathe and they didn't just have a couple of faces rush out there and ruin the heel heat. As for Ludwig, 1 win out of his last 20 matches, guys. 5 out of his last 50. Why would anybody care about Ludwig when the guy wins 1 match out of every 20? Or, I'm sorry, 5 out of 50. So that would bump his average to 2 to 3 per 20. 2. 5 of 50 and 1 of 20. Ludwig. Yeah, Imperium, man, they're really badass. And the way that Paul Levesque has been booking Gunther is atrocious. I never thought I'd say this. Vince McMahon was booking Gunther better than Paul Levesque. He's just another wrestler under Paul Levesque. I've seen Gunther go 10 plus minutes with Ali. Ali is almost beating this dude. I've seen Gunther in nonsensical tag matches and even 6-man tags taking bumps that somebody like Gunther should not be taking. I've seen Gunther lose as IC title holder in nonsensical schmaz matches. I don't know what Paul Levesque is doing with Gunther. I don't have a fucking clue. But he has made Gunther look like an average schmuck on this roster. Gunther is out there, and he can't even help Ludwig in a cheating way, trickery, beat somehow Matt Riddle. Gunther is out there at ringside and just watches Ludwig eat another fucking L. Unit. Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle needed to win that match. Why? Build your fucking heels, man. Why would you even have that match yet again? Why are we... Does anybody even care about Riddle involved with Ludwig or a Gunther? This isn't a storyline if you're trying to get to Gunther and Riddle, which is obviously where we're going. Gunther versus Matt Riddle. Scooter McGee. This ain't it. It's not a storyline. If that's a story to you, wow, I would never want to read that book. How do you figure it's not a storyline, BC? It's the next chapter in it. Ludwig took on Matt one-on-one. Ludwig loses, and afterwards they beat him down for the 2nd week in a row. That's the story, BC. It's so much adversity for Matt Riddle, BC. Oh, wait till you listen to this. Viking Raiders defeat Alpha Academy. Eric defeats Gable via pinfall. The Viking Raiders defeat the Alpha Academy. They already rushed this match immediately after the brand split a month ago when Gable and Otis defeated the Vikings. Do you guys remember that 50-50 booking? Right, the Alpha Academy defeated the Vikings on May 22nd. I do my due diligence. I do my notes for you guys. I do my research. I'm not just a schmuck in the community that gives gives you guys my thoughts on the show. Please subscribe and do things. No. I'm coming to you with facts. On May 22nd, Alpha Academy defeated the Viking Raiders. There was no reason to have that match right around the brand split. And you have these two teams on the same roster. You could build a good storyline to a pay-per-view, premium live event where you want to pay for that shit. Instead, immediately they had that match. Vikings took an L. And then just last week, Gable defeated Eric one-on-one. You guys remember that? Gable defeated Eric just last week. So now this week, Eric defeats Gable. Last week, Gable over Eric. This week, Eric versus Gable. It's 50-50 booking. And nobody wins with 50-50 booking. Nobody. Because the crowd doesn't know who's a winner, who's a loser. We're not just going to back losers. We want to. We like Chad Gable, Otis, maybe even Maxine. They get a nice little pop when they come out. It should be so much more. Do you realize how over Otis and Gable should be right now? Do you know what's holding them back? The company doesn't book them properly. It is called in the business. Way before BC was a twinkle in a parent's eye, by the way. Since the beginning of the time they had this term. Every promoter knew that back then they had what's called territories. But every promoter knew, stay away from what is called 50-50 booking. It's when you lose just as much as you win. Because you'll never become anything special in the business if people can't look at you as something special in the business. That's how they always used to think about it in the territories. Well, that still reigns true to this day. Whether it's Hulk Hogan, oh yeah, Macho Man, Warrior, Undertaker, Stone Cold Rock, Triple H himself, even as a heel, who ends up taking more L's than W's in those big-time matches with faces, by the way. But they were not losing as much as they were. Do you know why? It's because they would never have became big. This company literally will take your feet out from underneath you. They'll take your feet out from underneath you. You won't even fucking know it. They're walking to the ring. They think their shit don't stink. They're thinking they're going to do something special. And before you know it, they look down. I have no legs. I have no legs. 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 I have no legs. No fucking legs. You got no legs. The company took the legs out from underneath them. The company will handcuff them. The company does not want to build these motherfuckers to get larger than the fucking company unless they handpicked you. And they did not handpick Gable. They did not handpick Otis. And when they accidentally did, they brought him back to NXT, took away his personality, put him in Alpha Academy thinking that would totally shit the bed. Fans actually still cheer them, but then they just gave him shitty booking. Guys, I'm giving you nothing but truth here. These are facts. I've been calling out fucking Chad Gable's booking from fucking day one. It's the reason I did my research on the 50-50 booking with Vikings and Academy, because I was thinking to myself, wait a second, I feel like we're just swapping victories and matchups. I feel like literally zero creativity is being put into this. I feel like they're just redoing the same shit and calling it a new segment for the new week of shows. And sure enough, I was right. We've already done this match nonsensically on a Raw, not a premium live event, no build behind it. We've already done the fucking Gable beating Eric, so now Eric beats Gable. I don't know how this is okay with a lot of motherfuckers out there in the world, man. That claim they're wrestling fans. You're not a part of the solution, you're part of the problem. To people that go, man, just enjoy it, basically. It's just entertainment, man. You want it to make sense. If you had the same shit happening on your favorite television show, whether it's a sitcom or an hour-long drama, if the same shit happened, if the same segment happened on every new episode, you wouldn't fucking be pissed, call it out, and eventually start ranting on it? You'd just be okay with it? This is literally the definition of 50-50 booking. Viking Raiders over Alpha Academy. I don't know how other... I can't even... Rhea Ripley is out next. She destroys Nattie before their Night of Champions rematch even begins. So that tells me that Jer9 Gaming, any of my gold card members out there, my channel members in the chat right now, I've mentioned this twice and I never got an answer because I kept ranting and I didn't look at the screen. Does Rhea Ripley have an opponent for Money in the Bank? Yes or no? Because if not, it's probably going to be Nattie again. They probably just set that shit up. Carlton Bartley, gold card. Deontay Thomas, Ray Hunt, D Money, Robert Hurt. A lot of good gold card members up in this motherfucker today, man. Brad Boyer, Eric Newton. I love my channel members, bro. D. Wayne, Piazza, Jane Donnelly, I appreciate that. So you guys are telling me no. Dave Mille, Jimmy Fingers 19. I got to give Jimmy Fingers 19 and a few others a big shout out, man. Some super thankses from 2 days ago's podcast. Big super thankses. Jimmy Fingers 19 was a big one, man. So I got to remember that. Jimmy Fingers 19. So I appreciate that, man. Rhea Ripley's got no match. It was supposed to be Nattie last night. Don't be shocked if they do this match for a quick another squash. Money in the Bank, Nattie gets defeated by Rhea. Or maybe they try to make the match for this Monday. But Nattie will end up getting another match with Rhea, and the whole world will, just like a Sethington Rollins Disney on Ice, American Idol sing-along would go, the whole world will sing along a choir of crickets. Nattie and Rhea Ripley. Ripley destroys Nattie before the bell could ring, and the whole world was just captivated by this. Because we have to see Nattie get her rematch. 200 on the ups. Let's go for 250 plus live. I know this was on 40 minutes of notice. I know it's gold team only. But let's get that 250 plus live, man. There's no reason why we are not setting this up for the thousands that are going to catch this over the next 24 hours. We got to set this up big time for them. We got to hand the ball off to the thousands that are going to catch this not live. We have to hand that ball off hot. So let's make sure we're doing that shit. And then we ended hour number 2 with Raquel Rodriguez versus Trish Stratus. This was a Money in the Bank qualifier. These two worked so fucking well together. Trish is fucking awesome. I know. Oh, BC, man, I think she's horrible, right? Because that's the narrative in the community that I'm supposed to go with. Trish is horrible. Trish is blocking the women's division. Trish Stratus is one of the only bright spots in a women's division that should be illuminating, but absolutely is the drizzling shits because the company doesn't know what to do with them. Trish Stratus is getting actually the same shitty booking. Trish Stratus is just making it her own. Trish Stratus is going out there and doing what she's always done. She's going to make herself legit and relevant. The mannerisms of Trish Stratus, the way she talks shit, the way that she heals. And then you see the community. Trish is a horrible heel. Trish is horrible. I can't even tell you how bad Trish is. What the fuck are you talking about? And by the way, I'm not saying this was epic or great, by the way, by any means. But Raquel and Trish had some pretty damn good fucking chemistry in there, at least. And Trish is just fucking awesome. She always was. That's why she became so big in the industry. And I know today's wrestling fan doesn't want to give that proper respect. But I don't know, fuck off. Because there's no lying on this channel. Trish Stratus is fucking amazing. So Bex would come out, try to even the odds, take out Zoe Stark. In the process, she actually took out Trish as well, and this resulted in a disqualification onto Raquel. I thought that was actually pretty decent finish. It puts who they want in there like Trish, and it sets up that Raquel, Becky little whatever they got going. I don't need to see that on a pay-per-view, but if you want to stuff that on a Raw, face versus face, no harm, no foul, do it correctly, have something fun, cliffhanger-ish at the end of it that sets up Raquel and Rhea Ripley in the future. Because I saw that little backstage face-to-face that Raquel and Rhea had. That should not be anytime soon. Do those little matches and feuds with people like Becky and Zoe for Raquel, first of all. Put Rhea in there with Becky and others first. In the future, though, if you build up Raquel correctly, okay, her and Rhea could do just fine. But I thought this was a creative way to put Trish in there. Utilize Bex and save Raquel from looking like a geek. Beggars can't be choosers. It's a little something, man. But for the most part, man, Trish Stratus, since she's gotten back, I don't understand the hate that she gets. I don't understand how everybody is blaming Trish for how bad the women's division is, or it's very weird to me. Yeah, very odd, because every time she's out there, she's one of the only fucking females that's actually captivating me. I don't I don't know. Sadiqwa says, I don't think Trish is good right now, and I'm not online. That's my own opinion. Overall, I still love Trish, just not feeling her right now. To each their own. No doubt, Sadiqwa. I just don't that's a fan's point of view. I'm a critic, though. I'm breaking everything down from mannerisms to the way she talks shit to how she's actually in there helping who she's in there with. That doesn't always happen, by the way. And I'm not just talking about extremely like Thunder Rosa, Marina Shafir. Trish knows how to make her opponents look so much better, and it's probably to the naked eye. A lot of you guys probably don't even see it. So, Sadiqwa, to each their own is correct, but the fact is, Trish Stratus is amazing. You're giving me your opinion? That's awesome. For instance, I may not even like Trish Stratus. Right? I'm not a fan, don't like her, never did. Possibly. And by the way, I've never actually been that big on Trish, so there's some truth to that. But factually, Trish Stratus is amazing right now. That's just a factual statement. You can have an opinion, but just don't make it fact. Our opinions are not facts. We have to break it down. BC's done the research. Trish Stratus is absolutely amazing, and I hope she keeps rocking the game, man. You're always going to have people that think they're critics, think that it's easy to do what BC's doing. If I get a microphone, and I got a camera, and I start talking about wrestling, BC, I'm a podcaster. Well, hold on, man. It's not that easy, brah. I hope you understand how much goes into this shit. Yeah, you better be entertaining and have the gift to gab, and you better have all your research and your ducks lined up in a row, your due diligence, your history known. You better know what you're talking about, no question. But you also, after all of that, if you do all of that correctly, you also know how to actually... Like, literally, guys, I don't understand what people are thinking. You have to know how to critique wrestling, not just give your opinion on it. That's why we're amplified in these reviews. Because we're dropping facts, and factually, nothing makes sense on this shit. I would love to talk more positively, but I'm a real critic. I'm a real reviewer. You're not going to find me on Saturday nights calling Collision flawless or epic or perfect. You're not going to find me on Monday Night Raw calling half the show or 4 segments really good. No. Not going to happen. You guys can feel how you want on Trish Stratus. But if you're honestly going to try to convince people that she's horseshit, and that is a complete fail. And you're utilizing your 140 characters the wrong way. Trish Stratus goes to Money in the Bank, and I'm sure she's going to make people cry. The money, exactly, BC. Getting tired of seeing Raquel taking L's. Heel Raquel is needed. You can set something up with Becky if you want, man. Becky was in there. Raquel was not happy. I'll tell you that much. Possibly. By the way, since there's some truth bombs in there, just like Pimp Jesus, WWE AEW Marvel fan with some truth bombs. BC speaks nothing but truth. WWE AEW Marvel fan knows that. My auto generator has landed on a new gold member channel of the week. And just like all the other channel member of the weeks, we've had about 4 now, right? The new channel member of the week has been a channel member for a long fucking time, nearly day 1, if not. We've only had memberships for about, 6 months now? But even before that, a long-time subscriber of this channel. So I want to introduce and give a massive salute right now before we start hour number 3 as a review of Raw. I want to give a big salute to the new channel member of the week, the gold card that's shining brighter than all this week, WWE AEW Marvel fan. I was going to wait till the end, but I just saw WWE AEW Marvel fan drop some truth bombs in the chat, so I said, you know what? Now's a good time to introduce this. That was through the auto generator, And I could not have been happier when it landed on WWE, AEW, Marvel fan. I got to give a big salute. Salute, man. You're always, I see on regular uploads as well, always up in the chat or comments, always showing the appreciation to the channel and shining that gold card so brightly every single time I get my unit together, my gold card members. WWE, AEW, Marvel fan is always right there. So salute. I appreciate your contribution to the channel. It's people like you that keep BC amplified and keep coming live in front of this camera and in front of this microphone or behind this microphone every fucking time that I am. Honestly, I do not take that for granted. I am humbled by that support. Salute. And I know you're feeling that in the chat right now. WWE, AEW, Marvel fan. I appreciate you, bro. Salute. And a championship is coming, man. We're going to have a Gold Channel Member of the Week championship, man. We're going to call it something better than that, though, right? We're going to have a title belt. I don't know if it's going to be in time for WWE, AEW, Marvel fan, but we'll see. But to all my Gold Card members, man, one thing I do like about the tube, every hour it keeps the memberships up to date. So if there is cancellations or people can't continuously be a channel member, every hour it's updated. So it is a current members list. Every hour the list is updated. If you are DOS booted, you're out. If you are a gold member at the time, you are always eligible when I do these auto generators. So that was an up-to-date list, guys. Every hour the tube keeps that up to date. Hour number 3, Monday Night Raw 6/19/23. Bron Breakker starts hour 3 backstage promo on Sethington Rollins. What if? What if tonight Bron Breakker was to defeat Sethington, right? And then they would have to go to Money in the Bank and make it a triple threat, I guess. Hey, that intrigues BC way more than just seeing Balor versus Sethington for the 13th time. They won't do that. Bron Breakker's not winning and defeating Sethington. And I'm not saying he should, by the way. I'm just saying it'd be more fun for BC. But what if? Could you imagine if NXT ended tonight? JR9, this is one of 2 gold rushes, correct? Tonight? So what, Dragunov, JR9 even says, Dragunov is most likely costing Braun the title, just like, was it last week, JR9, where Bron Breakker cost Dragunov the Baron Corbin match? I think that was last week. So Dragunov lost because of Braun, so this week, most likely Dragunov costing Bron Breakker. So that absolutely makes the most sense. But could you imagine if NXT went off the air and Bron Breakker won the title and you have all these questions? What happens now for Money in the Bank? Wait, the title is down in fucking NXT? Is Braun now just going up to... What the fuck? I don't know, man. All I'm saying is I wouldn't completely shit on that, guys. I really wouldn't. But Bron Breakker makes his... Was that his Raw debut? I know it was just a backstage interview, but I don't know if he was on Raw before. Possibly. But I don't recall. But hour number 3 starting off with Bron Breakker. Then we have Bronson Reed defeating and squashing literally Shinsuke Nakamura in a rematch of a rematch. Why was this necessary? What does this do for Bronson? It does absolutely nothing but negatively affect Shinsuke. We know that. But what does it do for Bronson? It's a rematch of a rematch. Why do Shinsuke dirty like that? Shinsuke beat Bronson. And when Ricochet was involved in this little trio thing, he beat Ricochet. And now Shinsuke's just losing multiple matches like another one to Bronson. Why? Why was this needed? This 4 fucking minutes. Why? Just pluck Danny Dipshit Dugenheimer or Fuckwad Fred or my local pizza delivery guy Luigi Lugnuts from the local bingo hall or from his shift at the local fucking Domino's. Put him in there with Bronson and have him get squashed 10 times. Back in the day, we used to see Earthquake squash, and I do mean squash, Paulie Walnuts 12 times during a match. Superstar Earthquake versus Jobber, Paulie Walnuts. Back in the day, we would see Yokozuna squash Dipshit Dugenheimer and Fuckwad Fred together in a handicap match 12 times. So you wanted Shinsuke to get squashed literally. Why? What does that accomplish? Well, they got Shinsuke on TV, BC. BC, they got Shinsuke on TV. At that rate, stay the fuck off TV. This guy's going in Money in the Bank. Earlier in the night, an hour ago, you had him go to the ring and talk shit that he's going to win Money in the Bank. 40 some odd minutes later, he's out there getting squashed and pinned by Bronson. And nobody cares about the booking but BC. He was talking all that shit. I don't know, man. And then Cody Rhodes, main event, Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn versus Judgment Day. These main events are fucking... I have this in my notes. This is literally in my notes for word. These main events are fucking exhaustingly, nauseously, draining, redundant, boring, and pathetic. That's a quote that I wrote during the main event. I didn't even wait till the end. I put that in my notes during the match, like 2 minutes into it. These main events are fucking exhaustingly, nauseously, draining, redundant, boring, and pathetic. Tell me how you really feel, BC. You 50-50 booked Judgment Day into an island of irrelevancy. They look so badass, supposedly, at the top of the show. They're all talking that shit on the microphone during segment 2/3. And then at the end of the show, all of that talk was just chirping. All bark, no bite. The motherfuckers were on their back looking up at the lights as the faces celebrated us off the air. Horse shit. 50-50 booking destroyed Judgment Day last night. Because how the fuck am I going to take them seriously? How the fuck are you going to take them seriously? They talked so much shit. They jumped people from behind last night. And when it was all said and done, the faces beat them, kicked them out of the ring, and celebrated off the air. That's Judgment Day. That's how they're booked. 50-50 booking will destroy motherfuckers. We were just hoping it wasn't going to be a faction like Judgment Day. Pathetic. That's your review. Salute. Unit, I'm not going to keep you here another minute. Get the fuck out. You can stick around. I'm going to stick around for a few more minutes. I'm going to shoot the shit, go over some super chats. I got some super thankses to discuss with some individuals that threw BC a coffee in my last podcast upload. Jimmy Fingers 19 with a 25 spot, I believe. A lot of coffee. You guys are really showing a next level of support as of late, especially in those super thankses. So I want to shoot the shit with my AMP unit members. If you don't want to listen to the super thankses or go over super chats, if you don't want to shoot the shit post-show, get the fuck out! Das Boot! Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time. And there will be a next time. Now hit the fucking bricks. Go. Get out. Now, for those AMP unit members that are fully amplified and you want to shoot the shit a little bit more, let me salute you and get more amplified myself. JR9 Gaming 6-month membership, bro. And Godswilla 6-month membership, both. JR9 Gaming, on behalf of the unit, thanks BC for the epic member content. The past 6 months have been brilliant. Plus NXT report. Gold Rush edition is coming next video. I'll be on the lookout for it, JR9 Gaming. And that 6 months have flew by, man. I didn't even know if I was ever going to do a channel membership type program. And you guys just make it next level for me, man. You make it easy for me to do these and want to do more of them. So I appreciate that big time. JR9 Gaming 6-month channel member number 1 too. He was the first ever. I don't know if you guys know that. Not just my right-hand man. I didn't just place him as the first ever gold card member. He was literally number 1. Godswilla was right there too. Like first 5 or 10, I forgot which. But Godswilla is a 6-month membership as well as of today. With the horrific booking of Judgment Day and others is getting so bad to a point I can't watch the show anymore. Godswilla, first of all, thank you for the 6-month membership. Salute to you. I appreciate you so much. On top of that, I already told you in the last few Raw reviews, I've literally changed the channel of the main events recently. I never did that. No matter how bad the shows were, I never really flipped the channel out of such disgust. And I had to just changed the channel. I didn't even care about what I was going to have in my notes for you guys. I couldn't watch the main events. They were so I waited 3 hours to watch Imperium in a 6-man tag with Owens and Zayn and Matt Riddle, Scooter McGee. I waited 3 hours to watch Cody, Sami, and KO versus Judgment Day in a 6-man schmaz. This is like some house show shit. We shouldn't be waiting 3 hours for a nonsensical tag with no cliffhanger at the end. At the finish, the faces just celebrate to the hard cam and the house goes home happy. That's what happens on a house show. It should not be how we're ending multiple Monday Night Raws in a row. It is pathetic. God Swilla, appreciate your 6-month membership, man. Let me go over to the super chats. Hold on. Let me get on a big screen if you don't mind, guys. There were several of you guys. I want to make sure I get every single one. I want to start over with the WWE AEW Marvel fan who was the first super chat of this upload of this podcast. And we just said like 10 minutes ago, the new Gold Card Channel Member of the Week. The new champion is WWE AEW Marvel fan. Salute. 5-Spot Coffee. And he says, and I quote, 3 hours just to wait for a 6-man schmaz match in the main event. Just for the Judgment Day to be 50-50 booked is pathetic. Also, there wasn't even a cliffhanger. So WWE AEW Marvel fan, to that super chat, my response is it's exactly what I just said 12 times in this podcast, this live stream, and I literally just said that 2 minutes ago. You were exactly right. They wanted us to wait 3 hours for a nonsensical 6-man tag just to watch Judgment Day 50-50 booked, all within a 3-hour period, by the way. In one show, they were 50-50 booked. And we didn't even get a cliffhanger or story development afterwards. We just got the faces celebrating us off the air. Nailed it, WWE AEW Marvel fan. Fleck Guapo, 5-Spot Coffee says, it's looking like the Royal Rumble in January is most likely going to be in Orlando. So I bet my wife will probably be listening to this, because if I go there next month, you're next. So Fleck Guapo is going to be in Orlando for Rumble. And I believe New York for an event as well. Fleck Guapo going to these events. I don't understand what the wife thing. Is your wife going with you, or she doesn't want you to go to Orlando? I don't know. Fleck Guapo, enjoy the shows, man. Kick ass. Amplified style. I appreciate the coffee. Fourth one, 5-Spot Coffee. Yo, BC, I just watched Flair and Wyndham versus Eddie Gilbert and Steamboat. Still a classic in my eyes. Hold on. What was that? The fourth one. Fourth one with a 5-Spot Coffee. Yo, BC, I just watched Flair and Wyndham. Ric Flair and Barry Windham versus Eddie Gilbert and Ricky Steamboat. Still a classic in my eyes. That's when Gilbert had a big problem with the 4 horse. You're going way back, man. Way back, WCW. That's when Gilbert had a problem with the 4 horsemen, and he wanted a tag match, and he said, let me pick my partner. Ricky Steamboat was gone for a while at that point. Steamboat made a return to tag up with Gilbert, and the chemistry in the match just went to another level. A lot of people don't realize this. It seemed like it was a 40-minute match. That match was only about 17, 18 minutes tops, if I remember correctly. So, that's one of those matches I've watched probably 76 times because I just remember everything that was going. There was so much story behind that. I don't think people realize that. So, fourth one. You're taking it back there, bro. Yeah, that was definitely fun. A lot of people don't remember Steamboat was a surprise tag partner. He was gone for a while. Gilbert was in that big 4 horseman feud, and the tag match that was on free TV. That wasn't a pay-per-view, guys. And that tag match just went to another level. JR9 Gaming 10-Spot 2 Starbucks 3 Duncans. JR9 right-hand man and the first ever gold card member. And we are going to get the first Gold Rush report from JR9 tomorrow. I don't know if I can catch the whole show, JR9. I'm going to try my best to catch a lot of it. Give me your thoughts tomorrow, dude. I'll be looking forward to it. JR9 Gaming says, Gargano not being on his hometown Raw was criminal. It was a perfect chance to start rebuilding him on the main roster. He's one of the industry's best storytellers. It's a disgrace that he gets 0 TV time to show it. I totally agree, JR9 Gaming. I forgot he was Cleveland. JR9, wasn't he teasing that he was showing up this week? I could have sworn that he was... I thought he was teasing that he was going to be on Raw this week, too. And with Tomasso showing up, a lot of people are screaming DIY. Yeah, JR9 says he teased it a lot, and then instead they pulled the audible. People thought they were getting Johnny. They ended up getting Tomasso. Now, this is probably their way to bring Johnny in around Money in the Bank, maybe the Raw after, and he'll help Tomasso somehow instead of doing Johnny needs help and then Tomasso comes. I don't know. Maybe they just flipped it. But eventually they're going to put DIY together, and I feel bad for them because as much as we love them, there is no tag division. So DIY is going to be DOA instantly, and it's sad to say that. Pimp Jesus has been a member for 5 months, channel member gold. I gotta say what I always say, typical WWE nonsense. Pimp Jesus, I appreciate the membership 5 months straight and your truth being told. Sir Charles is a 6-month member from day one. Gold. Man, I love those fucking green boxes when you guys do the gold super chat. Those things look sexy as fuck. Those are like Green Bay Packer colors, man. Sir Charles in that green box. Thanks for always dropping those truth bombs, BC. 5 truth bombs afterwards. Emojis. Sir Charles, thank you for being here for all the truth, man. Thank you for not only handling the truth, but also dishing your own out as part of the unit. Sir Charles, I say it all the time, man. This whole unit, this channel is successful because of you guys too, bro. So I'm sending that thanks right back to you, Sir Charles. Make sure I got all the channel member straight up chats. Let me go back to the super chats. JR9 Gaming. Yeah, Johnny's. Yeah, they're probably going to link Johnny right back up with Tomasso, and I just hope. I don't know. JR9, you know that's the easiest thing to do, but there's no tag division, so it's not going to work. So we'll see what they do with Johnny. Appreciate you, brother. Big Nang, 5-spot coffee. Is it possible that if Shotzi beats Bayley this Friday for a spot and gets added into instead of replacing Bayley? Is it possible if Shotzi beats Bayley Friday for a spot, then gets added instead of replacing? But Big Nang, the last spot just went to Trish, didn't it? Unit, gold members. Did Trish get the final spot? Or is Shotzi? Yeah, because Shotzi's just trying to take Bayley's spot Friday, right? So for the women in Money in the Bank, was Trish the last spot until Shotzi and Bayley work out there or whoever's going to be it? Deontay says yes. Yeah, JR9, Tomasso and Johnny, I would prefer singles. But if you're going to put them in a tag team, it would be okay if done correctly. This company has shown you they don't do tag teams correctly. They don't even do singles correctly. Trish was the last official spot. Thank you, Brad, Deontay, JR9. I appreciate you guys. So Trish was it. So Big Nang in the super chat. My point, Big Nang, is you would have to add a whole nother spot. If they were going to do that, they would have done that with the men as well and said, hey, Logan Paul, you can be in it, but you're not going to take the final spot. So for the women, you can't do that because you didn't do it with the men. Am I right, unit? Logan Paul took the final spot, right? He wasn't just added in as another spot, right? I know I'm asking you guys a lot of questions, and that's why I put my gold team into this channel member chat only. Because I knew I was going to ask a lot of questions. I knew I needed my fucking frontline amp unit members in the chat. I need to be able to quickly look and have the answers immediately. That's why I needed my gold team in this one. So you guys are saying yes. Robert Hurt, Deontay, Pimp Jesus, Ali. So, okay, so that's all. Logan Paul grabbed the final spot. So see what I mean? So Shotzi is either going to take Bayley's or that's it, Big Nang. There's no additional spot that they're going to give Shotzi, nor should they, because then you're screwing over the dudes. Janelle Layton. I'm going back, Janelle. Hold on. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. I may have been in the middle of a rant, Janelle, and sometimes I miss the members super chat. Big, that sexy green box, man. I don't know what that color. It's like Green Bay Packers. Oh, I got it, Janelle. Janelle Layton. 5-month membership, Janelle Layton, one of my favorites on the channel. BC, thank you for everything you do for us. Have an amplified day. Janelle, thank you for always being amplified with not just BC, but this channel. So I know I sound redundant, but I'm sending that thank you right back to you. Janelle, thank you for everything you do you have an amplified day. Appreciate you. Much love and respect, Janelle Layton. I'm glad I caught that. I was probably in the middle of one of my 18 million rants when you put that up. Angel Allega's up in here, too. I don't think I gave a proper salute to Angel. I don't know how long Angel's been up in here. If you're just joining, I just put out nearly 2 hours of amplification. I'm not happy about this Monday Night Raw, and I'm not happy because I truly believe WWE actually tried to try this week, and that's a bigger problem. There's not trying and then trying and absolutely putting out a dud and not even realizing that you are easily, creatively a dumpster fire, a forest fire. I gotta be honest, I love shooting the shit with you guys way more than the actual review, man. I think the super chat part is the best part of the the program for BC. John Gray, always showing love and respect to the channel. John Gray, appreciate you, bro. I think John Gray was one of the super thankses I'm about to go over from the last podcast. So John Gray, I'll get to that in a second. John Gray with a 5-spot super chat says, BC, time to tear it up with the truth. Go gold! John Gray, I hope you caught this from the beginning. If not, this will be uploaded to the channel as an upload within 10 minutes of us going off the air. So I'm going to put this up as a regular upload in the live part of the section of the channel. So if you missed any of this, this will be up later, John Gray. But I hope you heard all of it, man, because, yeah, we tore this motherfucking community up with so much truth, we probably made people piss their pants or cry or both. Such is life. John Gray, appreciate you, bro. Ali with a 10-spot, couple of coffees. Here's the thing, BC, I like WWE. Like, ever since growing up watching it, it's been the best. But now, as I'm watching it, nothing is good. And by the way, I hope LA Knight, wins. Yeah. I added a yeah in there. Ali, I hear you, man. We all grew up with this shit. We want WWE to be so successful and so engaging and so creative and so just captivating. Because we want to enjoy, we're spending 3 hours every Monday. Nobody's trying to go out of their way to hate watch Monday Night Raw. Nobody's going out of their way to hate watch Smackdown or a Collision or a Rampage. Nobody's hate watching this shit. We want to be entertained. We're trying to be. We're trying to voice out our frustration so they listen and correct the wrongs because they're clearly wrong. The ratings will tell you how wrong they are. But instead, they don't listen, they don't care, they think they're doing everything properly, and we continue to get the same repetitive horse shit, and it's even worse the second, third, 10th time. So, Ali, we all grew up loving this shit and want to see it succeed. But you're not alone, bro, when you say that lately nothing is good. It hasn't been for over 10 years, the majority of it. And as far as LA Knight winning at Money in the Bank, that's the only fucking way they can go. Sorry, Logan Paul. I don't know how he loses. Maybe he can save face. I know this is his third big loss in a row. Roman Reigns, Sethington, and now Money in the Bank. But you cannot pick Logan Paul over LA Knight. You can't do it. I don't see any fucking way that Logan Paul walks out over LA Knight with that fucking title. Or the briefcase. Let me go over to Ali. Appreciate it, man. WWE AEW Marvel fan, gold card member of the week, channel member of the week, 5-spot coffee. Today's professional wrestling is just bangers and no storylines. Back then, every show had a cliffhanger to make us tune in the next week for the story. It's what I preach every single show, it seems. I'm like a broken record. This company is putting BC into redundancy mode because I have to say the same thing every podcast. Stories, cliffhangers, larger-than-life characters. That's the foundation of wrestling. The wrestling itself is the sprinkles on top, the cherry on top. You didn't fall in love. If you're a little bit older, I'm not calling you old, but if you're in your 30s, 40s even, and definitely beyond, you didn't fucking fall in love with wrestling because Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior were putting, Roddy Piper were putting on bangers. Hulk Hogan was doing 5 moves of doom, man. He'd hit you with some fist, a big boot, a clothesline, a body slam, and he dropped the leg drop. Ultimate Warrior was doing 2 moves of doom, a shoulder tackle, and he fucking gave you the press slam. And then once in a while, yeah, you had fucking larger-than-life dudes like Macho Man Randy Savage that came across, and he could actually put on 25-minute bangers. But not even Macho Man were you captivated because he was taking on Ric Flair for 20 minutes at WrestleMania 8 or whatever. No, he was captivating you, but the stories that he was into, his promos, and Ultimate Warrior and Macho Man, you didn't even understand what they were saying half the time. Ultimate Warrior was telling you that he was in another galaxy trying to find his way through the forest of a stratosphere that is unbeknownst to him because his family is trapped in a pit of misery while he's up in the heavens trying to find the cloud that he somehow detoured to through a hole that was debunked and dug by a band of people he's never seen that were druids that he once took over. But he doesn't know how to get out of the forest to get to the pit of misery to take it back to the galaxy through the stratosphere that there was a vortex hole for. You didn't know what he was saying, but damn, were you captivated. That was pro wrestling. You had larger than life wrestlers. They were larger than life. The music hit and you were out of your seat. They didn't even come through the curtain yet. The music hit and you were off this. When Stone Cold came out, the glass shattered. Stone Cold's not even out yet. The glass shattered, you were already out of your seat. Signs, the audience. Guys, go back to Raw, like Attitude Era-ish. Like, everybody had a sign. Everybody was fucking rocking out. Like it was an amplified Metallica concert. It was the place to be. Everybody had merch. Everybody had a sign. Everybody was screaming at the top of their lungs. Jim Ross is screaming at the top of the show, "Welcome everyone to Monday Night Raw!" Nowadays, golf clap to start the show. What the fuck is the new broadcaster's name? Kevin Patrick. "Hello everybody, welcome to Raw. Tonight we have a 6-man tag main event, and it's gonna be a banger of a show." There's not even excitement at the start of the fucking show, man. I don't know how I went into... I don't even know how I got onto this shit, man. It's sad. It's sad. You know what happened? How did I get onto this? Oh, WWE AEW Marvel fan just says, "Today's professional wrestling is just bangers with no stories. Back then, every show had a cliffhanger to make us tune in the next week for the story." Yeah, there's none of that now, man. It's done. It's done. Today's wrestling fan, just... It's like... They need to be a part of something. It's like growing up. Like if you liked mainstream music, these... I don't even know what to call them. Like they were total nerds to BC. They would like look at you like, he's one of those that likes mainstream music. You got to go to the local auditorium, man, down here because Death Fingers of Rage Misery is playing, you know, and they always had some underground band. Right? They don't do any mainstream, right? Metallica sucks. You gotta listen to Death Ring of Misery, man. 5 Fingers of Death Pit of Misery. They're playing this Friday night. I know all their songs. Okay, you're not cool because you listen to underground music and this dipshit's listening to Metallica. No. Maybe this dipshit doesn't have the time in his fucking day to listen to every band that did not make it. Maybe that's all he can do. That's what's on the fucking radio. He liked the song. He's paying some money to see them live. Maybe Death Fingers of Pit of Misery, if they ever get big, maybe they'll want to spend money on them. It means you have enough time, because you don't have a fucking life, to listen to all these underground fucking bands, and you want to call yourself cool. You put on your black jeans and your black merch with the band's name on it, and you go watch them. And you tell everyone around you, Metallica sucks. Mainstream sucks. And that's what pro wrestling is today. I feel like there's a lot of AEW tribalists. This isn't all the AEW fans. I have a lot of AEW fans on this channel. Much love and appreciation. I'm glad that they can understand my reviews and my critiques on Tony Khan's product as well. I just don't rip apart WWE. I rip apart AEW because it should be much better than it is right now. And there's this tribalist in AEW. These fans that literally you cannot say a bad word about AEW. How dare you? We're sporting the AEW merch. And you're just WWE shills. No matter how many times I have ripped WWE apart like this this podcast. But they don't want to hear it. The tribalism is so fucking gigantic. I think these are the individuals that something happened. Their parents didn't give them enough love and attention when they were kids. So they latch on to underground bands and AEW, right? We're the alternative. Fuck you, WWE shills. You're not cool. You sit there with your geeky AEW merch. You act like they do no wrong. You chant bangers. You chant this is awesome. And you put your company on a pedestal when it barely belongs on the fucking toilet. I don't do this underground shit. Tribalism. The fuck out of here with that shit. And that's what today's wrestling fan has basically turned into. The kids that I had growing up that were like, wow, did you hear the new underground band? If you're listening to them and you're listening to Metallica and Def Leppard and all of that shit, you don't know good music. And then wrestling turned into that, man. Somehow along the lines, WWE, AEW, Marvel fan. I know this is a long response to this super chat, but it's one of the big problems in wrestling. It's not just the promoters and the companies not booking correctly. It's also the fucking fans making it even worse. They've turned it into some gymnastics meet. Even though it's planned battle, it is rehearsed, it's scripted combat. And they're talking about bangers in wrestler A versus wrestler B. Both are 5'7", £160, but they can ooh and ah you with some flips, some dives. They can really put on one awesome sequence after another. You'll never go back and watch it again. It's not going to put wrestling on the map. It's not going to do anything for the industry. But it's cool. I'm going to watch Forbidden Door. Takamicha Makahuka is going to take on Dan Garcia. Mucha Fubu Fakahuna is going to take on Orange Cassidy in an orange juice match. You wonder why your company's not growing? Because when people say, oh man, I don't know about this New Japan AEW. No, you know it. That's good for you. Your company is not booming to the point to have a Forbidden Door. Be successful with your weekly shows. Build your company up to a point where you could do a Forbidden Door. Instead, fans justify it. Well, it's good for us, the niche. Do your research. Google these names. You should know about these individuals. It's not our fault you don't know about it. We're going to enjoy Forbidden Door. And then they don't even realize their niche audience is going backwards in the ratings. They were 950,000 on Wednesday nights for Dynamite. It's now 850. In fact, they can't even break 850 lately. Their own niche audience is going backwards. They're losing their own niche audience. But they still think a Forbidden Door Part 2 is what's needed right now in AEW, just like they think a Collision is what's needed. They don't understand. And they expect everybody to have to fucking watch 1,000 hours of wrestling to keep up with this shit. I have to now research 100 hours of New Japan Pro Wrestling to watch these fucking Japanese stars take on AEW stars. A lot of people are going to say no thank you, and I am not going to do my research, and I am not going to spend any time going and Googling and researching and trying to keep track of this shit. No thank you. I'll see you guys after Forbidden Door. And the niche that's already going backwards, a chunk of them will watch. We'll all wonder why the Forbidden Door drew so low, and BC and his unit will not be shocked. Anyway, underground tribalism fans is also ruining professional wrestling. Big Nang, 5-spot. KO should have took the loss last night to increase his temper tantrum character even more. Would have made more sense. Yeah. Well, Big Nang, if you're promoting Judgment Day to look so badass throughout the night, and then at the very end they just lose simplistically in a 6-man nonsensical match, you just 50-50 booked your whole faction of Judgment Day in one show. In 3 hours, you 50-50 booked them into a pit of misery. Big Nang, I would have taken Owens dropping the fucking L, and I don't like champions fucking losing. Trust me. I can't stand when champions lose nonsensical matches. But you just built Judgment Day up throughout the night just to take an L, which nullifies the whole show. The whole show was meaningless. I can't even. Jack Brewer, 5 Spot Coffee. The moment when Dom said pick 2 guys, I knew it was gonna be Sami and KO. So I missed another main event like I do every week. No reason to care. Jack Brewer, these main events are literally channel changing inducing. The main event of the show, which you should be building the entire night to, and we're just seeing house show matches. They don't even care. They're putting out 6-man tags left and right, weird tag matches, shit that does have no storyline, shit that has no cliffhanger at the end of it. They don't even care. The main events of Raw are beyond missable. Jack Brewer, no doubt. PB Silly Pride, 10 spot, $9.99. Remember when I said I would rather see Roman versus Becky instead of Roman versus Seth? Becky actually connects with a lot of fans. Seth connects with almost no one. PB Silly Pride, I can tell you that I'm in that category where Sethington does nothing for me, bro. It's sad to say. I like Sethington. Nothing he's doing captivates BC at all. Him parading around another fucking title with no proper booking at all is not going to make me sing along with his stupid song. Clutch City Fan, 5 Spot Coffee. On lunch break, I'll catch the rest of this later. Salute, BC. Thanks for stopping by, Clutch City Fan. Gold status, smashing that up. Helping out the channel, man. This will be up as a regular upload later. Clutch City Fan. Colin, 5 Spot Coffee. LA Knight. Yeah. Better win Money in the Bank. But then again, we are talking about Triple H. Yeah, Colin, at this point, you could see Logan Paul walk away with this shit, man. Christopher, Blackshear, 2 Spot. Judgment Day got 50-50 booked last night. Why? Because Paul Levesque, that's why. And Vinnie Mac. I'll blame them both. I'll be the only one with the balls enough in this community to blame both. Christopher Blackshear, appreciate you, man. Derek Fleming Jr., a couple of 2 Spots. Did you see Jordan Love's Father's Day vid? LOL. I didn't, Derek Fleming Jr. I've been so busy, bro. And when I get any time at all, I'm with you guys, man, doing these uploads. That's how I like to spend any free time that I have. So I didn't yet. I did hear about it. I'll be checking it out. Tried to troll the Bears when he hasn't played yet. Oh, no. Is that what it was about? I was told to watch it. I just haven't had a chance yet. Oh, no. Now I got to watch it. Derek Fleming Jr. Too funny. Yeah, he's a character, bro. His pops. D-Money A-Cash, 2 Spot. Sami Zayn got the Bloodline Smackdown pass. Yeah, exactly. One of many to come. D-Money A-Cash. John Gray, 5 Spot Coffee. BC, another coffee as you are so amplified with truth in this podcast. John Gray, respect, brother. Much love and respect right back to you. Ali, 5 Spot. BC, I don't know, understand how when they have a feud, no matter who it is, there is no storyline or build, just random, just like how it was Omos versus Seth. It's what the company, it's all they know how to do now. And they're just thinking about how they're going to squeeze money out of their next TV rights deals, how they're going to squeeze money out of another country, like Saudi Arabia, for instance. They don't care about the fans or the product they're putting out. They just think that their shit don't stink and they're doing enough to get another big TV rights deal. That's all they're doing. They don't want to spend a moment thinking about the creative part. They don't care if we enjoy what we're watching. They're putting it out, and they know that enough of us. There's the half that are tribalist, and they're going to show up no matter what. House shows, anything. They're going to cheer. They're going to be fed the bullshit. And then the other half, we tune in out of habit and hope, and they know they have all of us. Until we start walking away, and then they have nobody to turn around to when the TV networks are not giving them those big deals. Saudi Arabia and those countries are not cutting them all those billions of dollars. Then they're going to turn around and they ain't going to be having all those fans that they once had. In fact, they've already lost over 5 million fans from just 15 years ago. Crazy to think about, right? Ali, thank you, brother. Kevin MD, 2 Spot. Bob Lashley pitched a story idea. I would love to see it. Hey, I would too, Kevin MD. PB Silly Pride, 10 Spot. Mediocre fans are captivated by mediocre entertainment. So when something comes along that is exactly so much better, these mediocre people hate. Prime example, The Fiend. Yeah, well, The Fiend doesn't put on bangers to them. The Fiend can't do a Hurricanrana Canadian Destroyer 650 somersault slam from the top rope. So The Fiend is exiled. Supernatural is hurting pro wrestling. Not the guy that just took 17 Canadian Destroyers, 7 of them from the top rope, 17 super kicks, 12 pedigrees, 10 Batista bombs, was locked into a sharpshooter and a figure 4 leg lock for 20 minutes, and maybe got 12 buckshot lariats, and then he kicked out at 2.5. No, that's not exposing the business. It's the supernatural. PB Silly Pride, so correct. Silver Black 31, 5-spot coffee. Do you think the wrestling business would be in a better position if they used techniques that was used in the 70s, 80s, and 90s converted to today? I mean, I don't want to just rehash. It's a different era. I understand that. Just get creative. You can't rehash a lot of things from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. You can't do it. Some of the things can be absolutely reintroduced. But Silver Black 31, you just got to get uber creative, man. You have to come up with today's era in the most creative way possible. We have not found a way to do that yet. Brad Boyer. Hold on, man. I'm low on battery, guys. If this was to cut out, absolutely every single super chat will be given a shout out in the very next upload. Just know that if this cuts out for any reason, I'm very low on battery. Brad Boyer 220. Here's a coffee, BC. Keep speaking the truths. Brad Boyer, you know it, brother. Only way we do it on this channel. Only way BC knows how to do it. Brad Boyer. Recent gold card member, too. Brad, appreciate you, bro. Silver Black 31, 2-spot. We don't set the bar. We are the bar. Amplified unit has been from day one. Silver Black 31. Deshaun Sanders, 5-spot coffee. What's good, BC? Ross sucked. Fell asleep on it. Got my SummerSlam tickets. Hope it's worth the price. At least the atmosphere is going to be worth it, Deshaun Sanders. I don't know how SummerSlam is going to be booked. I wouldn't have too many high hopes going into it, but have high hopes on the experience. You'll be around a lot of good peeps. The atmosphere will be electric. Hopefully it's a lot of fun for you, man. And I'm not even just talking about the card that they put together, because I don't hold my hopes up on that. But usually SummerSlam is a fun time for BC. My birthday's around that time. Deshaun Sanders, hopefully it's good for you, brother. Appreciate the respect. Appreciate the contribution to this motherfucking channel. WWE AEW Marvel Fan 5-spot. I've heard Collision did an 814,000 viewership in the ratings this past Saturday. I expected a much lower viewership. Did the number come out? Is it 814? I didn't hear anything like that. Is that true? Is the Collision number out, guys? JR9, can somebody confirm that? I'm low on battery. I hope this doesn't cut out. No, the rating isn't out yet, WWE AEW Marvel Fan. It should be out over the next couple hours. JR9, exactly. That's usually around 4 o'clock. It was delayed because of a holiday yesterday, June 19th. So WWE AEW Marvel Fan, I mean, it could be right, but that doesn't sound accurate at all. I didn't hear that it was out yet. It's not supposed to be out at 2 o'clock on a Tuesday. So I'll keep a lookout for you guys, and we will discuss it for sure. JR9 Gaming, 5-spot. Seeing Trish live for the first time ever will be epic. I would have Raquel turn on Becky, helping Trish win Money in the Bank, and joins her group as the badass enforcer. Raquel turns on Becky. Oh, that would be actually good, JR9. I love it. Let's do it, JR9, man. See, now you're doing amplified booking. Now I understand. People got pissed off at BC because my booking would be so much better than WWE's. Now JR9's getting me excited for that, and we'll probably get some bullshit with this company. JR9, seeing Trish live will be epic for sure, man. Jack Brewer, 5-spot. Showing the love with that super sticker emoji. Jack Brewer, as I said earlier, much love and respect, man. WWE AEW Marvel Fan 5-spot. The idea of having Trish Stratus win Money in the Bank is unlikely, and as a fan of Stratus, Io Sky needs the briefcase more than Trish. But WWE AEW Marvel Fan, what do you do with Io afterwards? Io's already win against Bianca and lost. Now she has a briefcase. How are we supposed to take her seriously? Io needs more than just a briefcase. Io needs proper booking over time because Io is one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. I don't know if she needs a briefcase. I really don't. She needs proper booking. So if Io doesn't win a briefcase, I don't think I'd be insulted or pissed off about it. You know, you have her lose for a world championship match a month ago, and then a month later, she's winning Money in the Bank to hold a briefcase to go for another championship, which we just saw her lose a month ago. It's the same booking we see with Asuka. She loses the title match. She loses at WrestleMania, and then Asuka is winning a month later at Night of Champions on a Saturday afternoon. It makes no sense. Derek Fleming Jr., 2-spot. How do you save Wardlow, or should he just run? Wardlow's fucked. He's done. You see the interaction on Collision, man. People didn't even give a fuck that he lost to Luchasaurus. The crowd is a faction of chanting or caring about what this guy does. Tony Khan has ruined Wardlow massively. And I just don't think there's a way to get that back. It's sad to say that. Derek Fleming Jr. Godswilla, 2-spot. I can't believe Judgment Day is booked like this. I can. Paul Levesque on top of Vince McMahon. Probably literally and figuratively, by the way. Guys, I got 3% battery. I'm trying here, man. That was the super chats. If I missed anybody, I will absolutely get you in the next upload. I want a real quick. Oh, man, I don't know. I might cut out at any moment. I'm going to try to get my super thankers from my last podcast that I put up within 48 hours ago. There were some super thankers in there. Man, do I have enough time. I'm trying here. Hold on. John Gray, super thanks in that last podcast. 5-spot coffee. BC, I love this review, as well as the SmackDown one. Almost fell off the couch laughing at the super kicks to the tribal chief. Keep on keeping it real. Thanks. John Gray, I'm glad you liked that review of Collision that I put out 48 hours ago. I know you like this one. I saw you up in the super chats. John Gray, the level of respect that you show to this channel, it's right back to you. Appreciate you, bro. And Jimmy Fingers 19 with a 25 spot, bro. $25 in coffee getting thrown to the channel in a super thanks on that last podcast. But Beasley, I enjoyed the show. On a serious note, I really did enjoy it. I really did enjoy the show as just one isolated show. I liked the pacing. I liked the card, no flips and dives, and I didn't have to fast forward through any Dan Garcias or really Utahs. I felt Anthony Nese was used properly to do the job for Miro. It didn't come across like an indie show booked by TK except for Ward Loser. Here's where I stand firm with you, BC. You are the truth, and the truth hurts. I took it the same way as you did. That was just a fun night of bowling. It's not sustainable, nor is one Bill Phil's durability. I will, however, watch next week in hopes it might get better, since I haven't watched anything since the Raw after Mania. Punk had nothing to do with me liking or disliking it, but I was still happy to see him. But he needs to grow out the salad or grow a beard, because he looks like he is in chemo treatment. Oh, damn. Maybe there is a story with Sky Blue's Badonkadonk and Christian acting like he won the 24/7 TNT title himself and not Barney the Dinosaur. Much love and respect, and I made sure to smash the like button over its head with a guitar. Jimmy Fingers 19. Let me give that a like, by the way. Jimmy Fingers 19. Salute, brother. I appreciate you big time, man. I love the thoughts, and I stand with you on that shit, man. Jack Brewer, 2-spot. Thanks for the podcast. Did not even watch Collision. You gave me a reason not to watch. Next week, glad I quit watching AEW. No reason to watch. The name of the dog was Matilda. Stay amplified. Yeah, BC didn't know the dog's name of the British Bulldogs back in the day. It is indeed Matilda. 1,000 of you guys told me the correct name in that stream or in that podcast 2 days ago. Dante Jaron 23, 2-spot. Matilda was the Bulldogs mascot. Dante Jaron 23. I now know that. You guys came with the truth on that, man. I asked you guys, and you guys answered me big time. Ali, 2-spot. In this stream, it feels boring with no Randy Orton or Bray Wyatt. Ali, I agree with you big time, bro. Godswilla, 2-spot. I can't believe Judgment Day is booked like this. I already went over that. I did it with 1% battery. I got through all my super thanks, all my super chatters, my cold open, all of the review, and here we are about to approach 2.5 hours. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Wow, 1%. I'm about to literally get taken off the air. Salute, guys. I appreciate every single one of you. My gold card unit, that was all up in the chat. To every single gold card member, you have no idea how much I appreciate your level of support. My channel members are the fucking best in this community. To my entire red team, I know you're probably upset that you didn't get the chat, but that's sometimes I got to put my gold team unit up there, man. I need my front lines. I hope you guys ain't too upset. I hope you smash that up. Those ups should be way past fucking 300, man. Did I make so many people cry? Is there so many WWE fucking tribalists that are like, fuck you, I love the show? I don't know what the fuck, man, but if you can't handle the truth, just get the fuck out the kitchen, because the fire is only just beginning. BC! Until next time, and there will be a next time, BC saying salute. Anthony Bowley, I can't read it, brother. I got 1% battery. Anthony Bowley, salute. Appreciate the 6 months, man. BC and I'm out. Check you. Salute.